On today's episode of LTFGO, there was a slight pause as my computer and reality rapidly caught up to the fact that I hit record. Hi, hello. We're going to talk about the Saber Wars 2 rerun, possibly talk about Angry Peacocks. I don't know. That might come up.
No.
Okay, we won't. We'll talk about Sparrow Inn instead, and Mailbag, and lots of other things on today's Let's Talk FGO. Hi, I'm one of your hosts. I'm the Crimson Omega. With me, as always, Shrine Carpenter Lucky.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, a.k.a. some good old sacred hospitality. And while we here at StudiOmega like to bring you the latest in FGO related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for the JP and EN version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should prepare for a return to space.
Space. Okay, alright. Slightly awkward start to the show, but I feel like if we didn't start the show, we wouldn't be starting at all.
Yeah, that's how we do.
So we're back in the normal audio-visual format. I hope you guys enjoy it. I believe a decent number of people, I say a pretty good number of people turned up for our Twin Holiday specials. Hope you enjoyed those. I think they all got in the correct playlists. If not, I have to double check. YouTube apparently is taking away my auto ad, which is going to be a real pain in my butt. I've played myself, but let's see. Yeah, no. Christmas 2020 special is at 1800. Muramasa now. The New Year's special is at 2700 and some change.
Oh,
which is a very good episode for us. Yes,
considering
people
that
like
we
New
put
Year's.
that, considering we did that live and then we just threw it up on the side.
Yeah, heck, I don't think I think I added the Muramasa now because when we were scheduling it, you just called it live 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just made sure to throw the Muramasa in there for the clickbait. It worked.
Oh shit! Did I even do tags for the fucking streams? I don't remember. Fuck.
I don't even know how important tags are.
I don't know. Well, the way tags works is they're supposed to get pinged when you put something into a search bar.
Yeah, it's one of the things that YouTube can redirect to you.
Yeah, but so usually I try to go a little ham on tags, but I don't know if I remember. Whatever.
Anyway, since Lucky is cussing up a storm, don't worry. We were 2 minutes in. Our monetization won't go anywhere. I hope. I've had perfectly fine. I think I've shot several videos with my now solidified Yu-Gi-Oh crew, which consists of Loth, Vesper, and Dallas, in addition to Marth and Axe, and they're not subtle about the language. That wasn't a plug or anything, guys. Go check it out. But we can safely let everybody know that this episode is brought to you by patrons like Adam DeHarp, Ahango Comics, Architect 10, Black Lizard G, Carlos Qua, Jerry Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Kylie Denton, Legendary Boss Hunter, Liam Kessler, Regent Raptor, Rogue Robin, Shawnee P, some guy named Bob, Soda Son of Virtue, Verse 17, and Zach Reed. And if you like what we do and want to see us do work, consider supporting Patreon. You get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies and benefits us out. Thank you for support, everybody.
Thank you.
And I can immediately check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Now, once again, audible in the normal audio format. Someday we'll have all of our studio things figured out.
One day, but that day is not today.
No. But it's back in. It's there. And we can begin right away with Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, Rick for pro tips. I got twos for yous. First of all, remember you need 500,000 points to complete the story, so set yourself up to hit that level if you haven't completed the event. Some people may have been busy and gotten a late start. The only level you need to hit is 500k, which you should easily do in a couple of days. The only thing is you just have to wait for your points to roll in.
Well, yeah, the max you can get is 500k a day, so as long as you do all the things, you'll hit it.
Yeah, so just make sure you do it and make sure you give yourself enough time, because you have to log in enough times to reach that point level. Get your daily rewards. Second is, while I don't think a lot of people are super enthused about it, there are a few. I want to remind everybody to not sleep on that Prisma rerun. There'll be a new servant. There'll be a... Speaking of which, I legitimately am not sure. I've only seen one comment from one guy about Do Wanted Miyu, so I don't think there'll be a special video about that. I may just save myself the trouble. We'll store up all our energy for Lucky to release Wanted Murasaki Shikabu. But there is a new Ilya costume. You can get the Testament costume. And Chloe Kuro is considered a very powerful unit, consistently been a very great welfare archer, and you should not sleep on this event to get your chance.
Multi-hit, single-target, arts archer. It's powerful.
Yeah, obviously there are a lot of really, really good free-to-play, silver archers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Robin Hood, Uriel, soon William Tell, right? Great unit.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want those stats and you don't want to spend grails. And Chloe has a great kit, very consistent. I use her against all kinds of Saber bosses when I don't need something specific. It's just like, I just need a generic archer here. What do I put? Chloe's NP5, isn't she? Let's go. So yeah, don't forget.
Because I am a huge blubber as well. I usually, when I have that problem, I usually resort to my Squirtoria. But if I need 2 single target archers, yeah, usually it's Chloe.
Yeah, sometimes you go with a double teamer.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like I said, this is the beauty of welfares. Not everybody will have. So I compared SSRs. I'm going to completely derail before we get into the business and stuff and roll the next segment. I compared like unsummoned servants to some people. Now I shouldn't have been comparing to Dallas and Vespera anyway, because Dallas is a Luxec and Vespera is a Giga Whale. But it was pretty funny to like look at the strands, and it's mostly EOR servants and summer servants. Like I didn't get a lot of good runs on the EOR banners, including Musashi. And then I'm just missing so many people from Summer 1 and 2, which is so weird because I have everybody from Summer 3. I'm just like, why did this work out like this? That and just the hilarious thing, spoilers for a future segment, guys, but you want to talk about like 4-star Berserkers, right? I have like NP4 Herc, NP4 Beowulf, NP5 Fran. I'm pretty sure my Xerxolot is at least NP2, if not 3, right? I still don't have Ibaraki. I have no Ibarakis. How does that happen? How does that work, guys? That doesn't make any gosh darn sense. I have to double check. I might even have NP2 Summer Ibaraki. It's wild. Crazy.
Can't handle.
So before we get into our regular segments, I do want to really quick hit up one more bit of business time. We were talking about this in the pre-show, but I want to acknowledge somebody from the community, a fan, did let me know off mic that apparently it is now something you can fairly easily do to stream to Twitch straight from your phone. I appreciate the heads up, but I have a 2-part response, which unfortunately, spoilers will be that we're probably not streaming on Twitch. But I got a 2-folder for that. One, for me personally, since I was approached with this news, the reason why I quit recording video and trying to stream FGO on my phone directly was not because YouTube gaming on mobile went away, though that did happen eventually. It was because I rapidly went through some phone cyclings and did not have phones that were up to snuff in order to actually do that video. Now, I can tell everybody I have already ordered my new phone in preparation for Valentine's. It's a very nice phone. It has 64 gigs of storage and 4 gigs of RAM, so it should be perfectly capable of running FGO indefinitely. And it's entirely possible that once I get that set up, I'll be able to do some syncing and stuff and actually do my own FGO footage sometime. We'll see. I'll have to, figure out stuff. But the second point is we're probably still not going to stream on Twitch. No offense if you're like deep in the Twitch hole or anything, if you like Twitch, but I'm pretty sure I have a Twitch account. I know how much I use Twitch. It's not a lot, but we're not really at a stage where it's worth it for us to like split our audience. So unless we get like a really huge call out of like people that we should be on Twitch, we're probably not going to pivot. I'm not opposed to Twitch, and I know some people who are like really hardcore on Twitch who like don't like how YouTube does a lot of stuff either. Though that might just be because they're uploading like 6-hour videos of Twitch archives. I don't know. I don't make the rules. So I don't have anything against Twitch. We probably have a Twitch account somewhere. At least we personally do, right? But we're not at a stage where we get such breakout hits on our YouTube streams that we're gonna like pivot our audience that we already have somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So we're probably going to stick to YouTube for the foreseeable future, but especially for people out there who may be into FGO, I think it is good news, and consider it for yourself. Like I said, it's apparently real easy to get on there and just fire it up from your phone, and we'll keep an eye on it. I wouldn't be averse to us ever streaming on Twitch. It's just I don't think it's for us right now.
Nah.
And also, do be careful about that though, because FGO is a Japanese game that has like Japanese anime music in it and stuff, and Twitch right now does not have the best track record with copyright problems. We have absolutely gotten blasted for no good reason on our YouTube streams, but at the very least, the worst that happens at YouTube is like, you can't demonetize this until you protest, and you may have to edit this out. Right? As opposed to Twitch is, I believe, currently still having to take down your videos and possibly your channel if shit gets wild, so.
It's pretty much a slap on the wrist versus a slap to the face.
Yeah, no. Like, I will be the first to say YouTube is not perfect. but they let us upload everything for free, and they pay us money. So we get paid to do this, guys. Technically,
It's wild.
yeah, it's nuts. All we do is run ads. But I believe it is time to leave our footloose and fancy-free business time show faffery. I don't know. Robin will come up with something funny in the comments.
He probably will.
We can move into Records on the Throne, our regular achievement topic.
All right, so it's me. So I got my sword burb. Congrats to me. Head pats. Handshakes. All that good stuff. But along with that came MP3 Altera, 2 Prince of Langling, MP3 Suzuka, and another Dion, and I don't even know how many Tomicats. Please notice the pattern there. But before all that...
Actually, hold on, wait. What was your burb level? Was that NP1 burb?
Yeah, that's MP1 burb.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And let me tell you this, I stopped rolling once I got burb.
Yeah, no, I know how lucky works.
But, somehow, someway, before all this, I was able to pull 3 Tamamos. So my modest dream of achieving Tamamo Perfecto has been completed. Lucky is the proud owner of a level 100, 10, 10, 10, Bond 10, NP5, fully interluded, and skill ranked up Tamamo. I am immensely proud of this.
Oof, I think I'm gonna have to... I need to add in all the worlds of evil. I've been trying to, casually log in and play Azure Lane for, the past 5 minutes, and maybe I need a new mouse pad. My wrist's already bothering me. I think I'm gonna have to put off my computer gaming for a little bit. I try not to type too much. Ooh.
So clearly you need to get the Azure Lane 3D butt mouse pads.
Maybe.
I have an Ozma. I haven't opened it. I think I told this story before, but I got it. I'm like, I don't want to actually open this. Now I need to order a second one.
You don't want to break the seal. I understand. Sealed product, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lucky, do you want to part 2 your story? Or do you want me to talk about my roles?
You can talk about your roles for a bit,
Okay, guys, let's transition to not all the world's evil, but damn close. So I didn't go as ham as Lucky did, but I also don't have a burb. I ended up doing 5 total 10 spins. I said I was going to do 2 or 3. I did 5 total on Tamamo Benny Enma-Tae, like I said I would, because of how dissatisfied I was, to put it mildly. Even after doing 2 extra 10 spins, I only got 1 4-star event CE, and a lot of 4-star CEs I do not need. All of these are, max limit broken CEs. I came away with 3 new 4-star, well, not new 4-star, but 3 additional 4-star servant rolls, putting me to NP2 Cat. That's right, I only had NP1 Cat before this. NP3 Fion. Thanks, buddy. And NP4 Herc, for some reason, that I mentioned earlier. Thanks, friend, pal, buddy.
Chief.
And my final note here is my day was ruined and my disappointment immeasurable. And also, I still don't have a burb, and I still don't have a gosh darned Tamamo. Okay.
So don't necessarily... So we're going to put it on this one, because I wanted Omega to say that out, because I don't want you to think Lucky is necessarily a luck sack for his rolls. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I basically did my rolling in 2 stages. I did a bunch of rolling on Tamamo Benny Enma-Tae, and then I did a bunch of rolling on the Cat and Benny Enma-Tae. That was 2 or 3 days later. And it's very interesting how this worked out, because honestly, if it hadn't worked out this way, I probably would not have an MP5 Tamo. Because on that first set of rolling, all I got was a Prince of Langling, one of them, and then 3 Tamos. This was in, I think, about 380 packs. So, well ahead of the curve. So Lucky, feeling cocky, feeling fine. A few days later, it's like, all right, I didn't get it on Tom Day, but you know what? Luck is good. I'm rolling hot. Let's keep going.
You feel good. You completed your Tamamo. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. It wasn't until later that Lucky realized that everything was not fine.
It was then he knew. He fucked up.
Lucky spent over $700 rolling for that burb.
By the way, I'm really glad that I read you wrote this down already, because you said that while I was in the middle of the sip, and if I did not already know that information, I might have possibly spit taked.
For a total of 621 rolls. Not saying quartz, rolls. Times that by 3.
It's a lot of quartz.
That's a lot of quartz. Not even a full week into the New Year's, and I already can't keep my hands out of my wallet. Now, Lucky is not averse to spending money for his servants. He's not. But After we hit 280 packs, Lucky starts getting mad. And this is what happened. Not because I wasn't getting bird, because I was getting everything but a fucking bird. Look at this. I said, I got a Prince of Landing during the tournament rolls. That is hey, what's that? What's that doing here? Get out of here. But it's not necessarily maddening. You know, it's like, yeah, like, it could happen. Yeah. But during the other rolls, I got another Prince of Landing. I got a Suzuka. I got an Altera.
I want to put a point for this for people who may only just now be realizing this. I've just realized that all of the extra NPs you listed in your first blurb are all Sabers.
Yes. They're all fucking Sabers. I pulled so many goddamn Sabers just trying to roll for the fucking bird. One of them being another fucking SSR that I got Rainbow Sparks on.
Well, Rainbow Sparks are the devil, so.
Like.
Literally Satan.
Like, you cannot understand how fucking infuriated I was. Cause here's the thing. Lucky has, has depression, anxiety, all those works. But the way his works is once he gets depressed enough, he switches from depressed to mad. And then works to destroy whatever is, making me sad. That's my copingism. It's, either I get away from it or I destroy it. And guess what? I can't get away from FGO.
Yeah, I think that's, if people are curious, I think that's you can witness the ways that, well, we do get along pretty good. We've been doing this show for, almost 3 years, or almost 4 years now, right? Because there's 3 years FGO. We started like 2 weeks after FGO did.
Yeah. I
can do math, guys.
Sure.
That's a lie. I cannot, actually. That is actually true. I'm really, really bad at math. I had near perfect scores on my ACT in the 2 English blocks, like reading and composition, and my math scores were awful. But anyway, It's a different question. But you can see the pretty big differences between the way we work here. I did 5-10 rolls of the quartz I currently hold. I did 2 extra rolls because of how pissed off I was, and then I was just like, I think that's the point where I hit 300-ish Saint Quartz, right? Mm-hmm. Which is a nice big round number. And then I was just like, alright, this just hates me. And I didn't have anything vengeful to roll on. I didn't get spooked. I just got a lot of 4 stars, both CEs and servants I didn't need. And I was just like, okay, alright, I'm done with this. I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna go, I would have been in the middle of playing Melody of Memory. I'm gonna go play Kingdom Hearts music now. Fuck this. I'm out.
Honestly, I think I probably wouldn't have rolled as much if I hadn't kept getting gold sabers, because every time I'd see that fucking gold card, I'd be like,
I mean, that's why Fion was in the doghouse he was in the bad boy corner for a long, long time until this event happened. And we'll talk more about that later. I think he spooked both of us at different times. Like, I got my Fion on a Resh banner, and I was like, sir, do not. No. Nope.
I got my first Fion rolling for Bryn like an eternity ago.
Yeah, that was when Fion was introduced into the game. That was... Why... That's a question for a different time. Why people do this to us? But, so, hey, here we are.
Well, now, everyone don't worry, Lucky is not broke.
Well, yeah, it's funny you say that. So, we don't talk too much about our financial situation, but
yeah.
The start of the year rolled in, and Lucky was like, son, are you sure this number is correct? And I'm like, yes, we had a couple of big patrons switch to yearly, so there's a big cash infusion at the start of the year.
Yeah,
that will not necessarily be reiterated throughout every month of the year, but
no, but I'm not broke. As I said, so I still have money. I have enough to pay my bills. I'm not destitute and living off ramen. But I have a concern. I really, really hope that this is not what my luck is going to look like for the next several months, because I'm like, Jesus, I would like to save up and maybe get myself a new tablet, maybe get me a PS5 at some point.
Yep.
I want to save up.
Well, heck, didn't you say you also want a third monitor? You want to be that guy?
Yeah, I want to be that guy.
As Omega, also, I need to start researching, because assuming that it works out okay, because you never know with stuff, knock on wood, but assuming the phone comes together and works out okay and everything goes fine, my next step for myself is gonna get a second monitor to do cool things with monitors.
And
monitors.
Like I said, again, I'm not opposed to spending money for servants. I'm really not, but like I said, once I pass the 280 pack, it's $180 for me. I'm a little mad. For one, 280 packs, that's 167 quartz per pack. That's 334 quartz, so that's 111 rolls ish.
And the SSR rate is 1, so it's
statistically.
0.7 or 0.8 if it's the rate up one, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but like technically on point, there should be an SSR in there somewhere.
Yes.
Statistically, and now we can go on about like how.
Oh yeah, we've talked about like that's the thing, right? Like getting spooked by an Altera and stuff. The actual odds that happens are like crazy small, but there's a lot of confirmation bias in gacha rolling.
Yeah, I know, but still, like 280 packs, there should be
people.
There should be an SSR. Okay,
good.
Yeah. There should be an SSR in there somewhere.
That is how math works. Yes.
And if there's not, maybe a pack or two more. But the fucking gall of this game just to keep throwing gold sabers at me and not be Bennett Enma. I was just like I'm rolling till I fucking get one. Like I said, fuck. I still think I had I'm glad it actually fucking happened at the point, because otherwise who knows how much more I would have spent. But I'm
at least reasonably sure that Lucky would not sell his car to get Skahak or whatever that one crazy guy did in Japan. Yeah. Sold his apartment or something. Nah. You said you spent around 700. This guy, I think, liquidated stuff to spend the equivalent of $3,500 on Skahak.
Trying to get MP5 or something?
I don't know. I just remember the vague story. It's one of those urban legends of FGO of yeah, did you hear about the guy in JP? He sold his friggin' kidney to roll Skahak. I'm gonna guess he was probably going for NP5 with that kind of money, right? Because I sure hope to hell you don't not get a Skahak and that much cash. Period.
No.
That's that. At that point, you do have to just fucking stop, guys. As a man who is engaged with randomness almost as a business model, whether we talk about, the APs or tabletop gaming, which involve rolling dice. I post about, trading card games. I open trading card game packs, which is like a gacha, but slightly more economical. Slightly. I mean, hey, I spend I think the average MSRP for a booster box of Yu-Gi-Oh is about $60. But I'm involved with this. Numbers are weird. Sometimes you do need to just be like, okay, I'm done buying this product. This is clearly not working out for me. It's not in the cards.
Oh god, Lucky's looking at Genshin Impact, and that's soon to be Gondru banner. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that is the one thing I have not gotten my shit together with is Genshin, but we'll talk more about that next week. I just haven't been busy with other stuff, haven't knuckled down and fired it up.
Man, now that I stopped playing Cyberpunk, I have so much free time. I had no idea.
Yeah, no. It's wild. I came to that realization early last week, and I was just like, shit. Hell, I beat an entire other game in the week and then, moved on with Melody and Memory. Not that was that hard. But anyway. Again, future topics for tomorrow. Yeah. That is all the way through our Not All the Worlds of Evil and all that stuff. And if you're wondering, hey, how can these guys afford to faff around for 20 minutes at the front half? It's because there's no news. Well, there is news, but it's not. It'll take me 5 minutes. So we'll probably do, I think we've confirmed we're doing full mailbag. And after that, we'll yak about whatever we feel like with Sparrow Inn. And you'll love it because constantly people are like, oh my god, this episode's 4 hours. It's the best. And it brings home the monies, so...
Yeah.
Ad revenue. So long as I remember to do it manually and spread it all out. Because, talking about YouTube flaws, that is something YouTube is still an animal about. If you let it auto-put mid-roll ad breaks, it, power loads all 20 of them into the first hour of the video. And it's just YouTube, why? You're literally murdering my audience. You're killing them.
Stop it, they're already dead! Let us
so I try to spread that out a little bit better. Okay, let's really check in with everybody, though, and ask, did you finish your master missions? God, I hope you did. With these? Seriously. Hey, so to complete your master missions this week, in NA, in case you're curious, I'm going to need you to defeat 5 servants, defeat 10 servants, defeat 15 knight-class enemies, not servants or bosses, defeat 15 cavalry-class enemies, not servants or bosses, complete 5 quests with a saber in your party, and complete 5 quests with a caster in your party, a.k.a. do the event. Or also, do anything. Because, seriously, these are... so easy modo, but also are very clearly geared towards the event. And I did feel slightly mocked, yes, when I saw that there were do 5 quests with a saber and a caster in your party. I did. That said, both of those there's a really good assassin node and a really good lancer node, which involves Lancer Artoria Altar. Mordred whispers gently, it's free real estate. I got a level 100 Mordred, that's great for me. Don't have her higher than NP1, though. Funny how that works out. Though, I also don't... This is weird, again, talking about the unsummoned. Lucky very infamously had for a long time a level 1 NP5 Artoria. I still don't have an Artoria, or a Dion. Weird. Shit's weird, guys.
Actually, that reminds me, I got my, speaking of Lancer Artoria Mordred, I think I got my MP2 Mordred while fucking rage rolling for fucking Lancer Artoria on Altar.
Entirely possibly. Right. But yeah, so, other than the fact that these are clearly geared towards doing them during the event, it's really no effort. Just make sure to actually play FGO this week and not just cruise control on the fact that you were awake at 3 a.m. or whatever, and you did all the event stuff right away, and you're fine now. I know a couple of people who got in there. But okay, that's that. Let's just jump into the news.
Alright, cool.
So, this is, oh gosh, there's a Star Wars meme quote about this. What is it? A welcome surprise to be sure? Surprise? Something like that? This is where the fun begins, possibly? I don't know. I know, 11 billion Star Wars memes. Remembering the exactly correct one is sometimes hard. But, hey, it's Saber Wars II Rerun. Yeah, in January.
Oh, yeah.
This is on the JP side, obviously, because we don't have our first run of Saber Wars 2 until this year. My body is ready. This goes from the 6th until the 20th, so JP is basically blocking up most of January with a rerun. Go on them.
Yep.
Especially considering that Japan has re-entered the Backstreet Boys reunion tour lockdown. They might have some new stuff to deal with and need some more of those vaccinations to percolate. So we'll see how that works out for them. But FGO has a nice long rerun to budget some time out there. So it looks like standard rerun rewards and stuff. If you got extra command codes or special costumes and shit, you get rare prisms or mana prisms again. As far as I can tell, there's no new bonus servants or anything. It's the same list. No brand new servants have been included. Follows on. There is, of course, the return of the Space Ishtar and Calamity Jane raid up. There is nobody else in the raid up. It's just a straight up return of Calamity Jane and Space Ishtar.
Mm-hmm.
So if on the off chance you don't have a Space Ishtar and are not broke after 2 Lost Belt banners, Christmas, and a New Year's banner, hey, Space Ishtar and Calamity Jane are back.
Yeah.
But the cool thing everybody's talking about is Yagyu Munenori, sitting man himself, got a buff.
Woo-hoo.
So his second skill now adds a 51% crit up for 1 turn, and has its cooldown reduced by 1. So his second skill is normally the evade attack up skill. Now it adds a critical buff and has its cooldown stepped down to be in line with the rest of his skills. So it's basically just better Mind's Eye. It's got that crit effect and the attack effect. So if you have a sitting man, you're great. Seems neat. And that's really all the news so far. I wouldn't be shocked if some other stuff doesn't percolate down the pipe, but it sounds like they're blocking out a decent amount of time to let this flow out of there and move on before we move into various new events, right? At some point there will be a Valentine's.
Valentine's usually starts, late January?
It depends. Sometimes they've been very early, sometimes they're later. Again, with the way things are going, don't know.
Running to the 20th, they might do a week-long thing and then go into
a gap week or something. Maybe a million downloads, who knows? Do a hunting quest, yeah. We should have a hunting quest coming up in our not-too-distant future. I think it's in a couple of months, but still, there's somewhere in there.
Or they might just drop a weird-ass banner just to be weird.
Yeah. I would really appreciate, because they didn't do any at New Year's, if they did, a regular old rank-up quest sequence, because they haven't done that since the last anniversary, but, I don't know, maybe they'll just do some casual buffs.
I'm more partial to interlude campaigns.
Interlude campaigns are cool, too.
Alright, but with that, all the news is out of the way, so... Actually, what's the mission clock at, Omega? How long have we been going?
We've been going for a solid 30 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yeah, let's fucking do full mailbag, Jesus. Alright, so it is going to be a full mailbag on Let's Talk FGO Mailbag for Friday 8th, 2021. Exciting. This is the segment where we, well, mostly me, read what you have to say out loud, and then I try to say something, Omega cuts me off, then I cut off Omega, and we do this a lot. It's great. How the dynamic works.
It's okay, I'm gonna rest my hand bones while Lucky reads.
So, looking at it, we have 32 entries today. Looks like we have a fair amount of well wishes. Good on you, people. And we're gonna get started, right? Meow. So our first one comes from Doesn't Have a Gilgamesh Man. That is a super crappy superpower, and I hope you have a better origin story next time. But their question is, what do you think the first new year of the event will be? Do you think it'll be Lost Belt 6 or something else? I am 150% sure it's going to be something else. Jesus.
No, at this state it's going to be whatever this flavor of Valentine's is, right?
Yeah. Well, Valentine's is always weird. I don't know if they'll actually do a full event. What?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Seishonagon was a separate event. It was not a... Was it a voice and letter? I don't think it was a voice and letter collection rerun, but I'm not entirely sure. But you're right. Valentine's has a weird off-again, on-again schedule.
Yeah. Rerun fucking Chocolate Lady's Commotion so I can maybe pick up that grail I missed. Heck. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would work.
But after that, Valentine's, then the next big thing on the calendar is usually our Golden Week collab. Wait, no.
There will be.
Is it
first? White Day is March,
White Day first, then Golden.
Which
then
is
Golden.
Usually a mini event now. Like, they've done that for 2 years in a row.
Mm.
And there could be a new guy on it. You don't know.
We don't know. No.
There's some dudes in that collage they showed us over the New Year's. It won't be Murabasa, of course, because he's already out. But
but there's still, I guess that still leaves a few weeks around where they might throw in something new. I don't know. I think we're still too early for a new Gouda Gouda. I mean, Gouda Gouda 5 was what, like late fall?
Yeah, no, I don't think they'd be ready. Like, we could get an early rerun of it, but I expect they'd actually let the time period pass, right? Yeah.
Nah, so either we're gonna do something
non-collab events that we need to rerun.
Let's see here.
Actually, hell, do we have any collab events to rerun? Was the last one?
We read. I guess they could rerun. No, they usually don't. They don't. Do they usually pack in the reruns like immediately the next year? Usually they let them percolate for at least like a year.
No, I think it's been a couple years since Case Files rerun happened because we're about to do it. So they did. Did they do a rerun of that yet?
Yeah, they did do a rerun. I think the rerun that people are going to be waiting on now is Requiem. I think, but I said that was only.
Yeah, that will not probably happen this front half of the year. That was only, as you said, that was only last year.
Like I said, we ran Imaginary Sea, so that was like
we've already done the OQ Labyrinth rerun and CCC main interlude.
I'm trying to think, man.
I mean,
maybe
I'd love it if we could get some...
maybe... no problem. There's probably going to be an Amazons rerun somewhere.
Ooh, yeah. Do that. Or it could unfortunately go the way of Setsubun where they don't rerun it. They just do a similar event. But that would be fun, though.
Yeah, because, let's see here. Setsubun... I'm pretty sure there's going to probably be a new event like Setsubun, Onigaishima, Rashomon, something.
They'll kill some time. Celebrate some early Japanese holidays.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I throw my hands up in the air of what it could actually be. FGO's wild. They do like to do a bunch of different stuff.
It could be about literally anything.
Yeah, it could be. Be great. Give me a Murasaki event where we actually get trapped in the fucking tail of Genji and we have to act some shit out. That'd be hilarious. It's like, oh no, the protagonist is a really shiny, handsome prince. That made me laugh. Listen, Lucky's been doing a lot of research, okay? Anyway, thank you very much for the question. We're gonna move on. This next one comes from Seeker of Casino King Bun Bun, who says, "Hope you're all well and the issue frustrating Lucky yesterday works out as well as it can." Well, thank you very much. The issues have not all gone away, but the countertops are in. I did not have to yell at anybody today, and the fucking transaction for my bus money went through, so I didn't have to walk home. Yay! I am still hurting innocents of the spot though. Can't win them all.
I'm just imagining when you talk about having to walk home. It's really dumb, but I just for some reason imagine the meme song. It's like Coda for something. It was in Rick and Morty, like sad da 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 kind of thing with like the screen goes gray and Lucky has to walk home in the rain because of course it's raining.
Oh yeah, it's Washington, it's gray and raining. That reminds me, I need to buy some better shoes. The seals of mine are starting to come loose, and now water's getting on my socks! And that is literally the worst. No. So, that's that. But, thank you very much for the well wishes. I hope your life is well too. And we're going to move on. The next one comes from 418. I'm a teapot. And they say, hello, Lucky and Omegon. Hope the event has been as fun for you as it has been for me. That pause there was Lucky doing the monkey side look meme.
You've clearly mistaken me for my brother. I'm actually Alfarius. There's a 1%er.
Alright. So, thank you very much. This next one comes from a man who finally summoned his favorite servant Tamamo after 3 years of actively trying.
Hey, thumbs up, man.
Thumbs up, my dude. But they say, I forgot to send in a message for the 2 unlimited mailbag episodes, so belated Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the both of you. Same to you.
Hey,
I hope your holidays...
We did a third unlimited mailbag.
But I hope your holidays were lovely as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bonk.
Bonk. So, this next one comes from Gahulian God. Do you think, for any reason, we'll have to fight MASH? It doesn't have to be a serious fight. It could be sparring a competition, us being on opposite sides of an argument, etc.
I suppose that is true. You've never had to fight MASH, have you?
Have you ever used MASH as a training partner? No, I don't think so. I don't think I've ever seen her on the opposite side of the screen.
Maybe it's because there's... So, I've talked about this often on mic about people with, like, about enemy skill usage and stuff, right? Like, we were recently talking about, there's a general conversation in Discord about old-ass skill sets, right?
Yeah.
How some of them are really, really dumb as an enemy, or dumb as a use, but scary as an enemy, like Darius 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
With his golden rule, which is horrifying as an NPC. Free NP charge on a berserker? No thanks. It could be possible that the way Mash's skills are is just because she's such a tank with, like, neutral damage everything, she would be a huge pain in the butt to fight with, like, proper NPC stats. Like, can you imagine having to beat up even a 100k Mash, let alone, like, I've got 2 break bars with 250k HP each, Senpai? That would be a little frustrating, but it would certainly be interesting if they did it.
Oh yeah,
even as a joke, right?
Oh yeah. Like I said, maybe like we're about to go do something too stupid that even Mash is like, Senpai, no, that's dumb. It's like, and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do it.
I'd like to imagine it in like a summer event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she puts on her swimsuit and she's just like, "No, you will not. We must stay at the beach." Bonk.
Someone give me a go to horny jail with Mash bonking the master.
I'm sure that edit exists somewhere.
If it doesn't, I will fucking do it. Anyway, thank you very much for your question. I hope it was a decent enough answer. We move on to Sencho is Love, Sencho is Life, who says, "Ahoy and Happy New Year. Who do you think would be the worst chef in Chaldea?"
Barring the literal well, shouldn't say that. Jack made a surprisingly realistic chocolate heart, so even if she had help, she had some talent there. It's probably got to be one of the knights, doesn't it?
Well, Tristan actually went to the cooking classes, so he probably wants to learn how to cook at least a little bit.
Yes,
he's probably not.
But
he's probably
he does
not
make comments about like I think even Artoria hates Gawain's cooking, which is saying something. Like I think he only knows how to boil / burn potatoes.
Yeah,
even though that also is probably not true because that's horrifically anachronistic because everybody forgets potatoes are actually from the new fucking world. But whatever. If you're a Arthurian fantasy story, there should be no potatoes. They don't fucking exist yet. Anyway. Yeah, other than that, I don't have any ideas right now.
Let's see here. Well, if I'm gonna probably say worst cook, I'm gonna go with a knee-jerk rank and say Han Christian Andersen. He seems like a guy who has absolutely no idea how to fucking cook and doesn't care. He's literally gonna eat fucking top ramen, like, dry.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was about to say. He's a coffee black and instant ramen kind of writer.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, he doesn't know how to cook and has no inclination how to learn how to cook and doesn't care about taste and shit, so... Like, Shakes would have a taste for flavor. He's a man of dramatics.
Mm-hmm. He also, I mean, like, historically, Billy Shakes was, like, the son of, like, a glove maker and whatever. Like, he lived in a comfortable middle class in Stratford-upon-Avon. Like, he would know about good home-cooked English meals.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you know, and also he probably knows about high society because there's a reason why his company was called the King's Men. It's because they were patroned by a king, BT dubs.
Anyway. Yeah, so probably Han Christian Andersen. That's what I'm going to say.
Fair enough.
Oh, yep. So, hope that answers your question. We move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from the proud owner of a brand spanking new MP2 Tama with exactly 0 caster pieces with which to ascend her. Oof. That's a little pain. Are there no caster pieces or monuments in the shop?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure there are. It's definitely Saber, but I don't remember what the other two are. They might be like Lancer and Berserker. For like Cat and Fion.
How dare. Oh, Assassin. Why Assassin?
Old Man Lee, duh.
Oh, duh. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, then I would assume it'd be Saber, Assassin, and hecking, Caster for, the 3 SSRs. How dare!
Tamamo has been out for like 3 years. Nobody needs to ascend to Tamamo all of a sudden. They know what they're doing.
Rip. Ugh. Anyway, hi to you two, and I'm gonna return those well wishes right back at you. Yep, Saber Assassin Berserker. Fucking Tamamo got fucking shunted by fucking Cat. Wild. True facts. So, move on next one. Another man who has finally summoned his favorite servant, Tamamo, after 3 years of actually trying.
I like this. It tells a story.
Man, apparently a lot of people were throwing down for Tamamo.
Gee, I wonder why. I wonder how it feels, Lucky. That's okay. I'm not actually that bitter. I got a double SSR GSSR poll. Both of them were new. I'm not mad about anything. It's very funny considering how I started this episode.
I'm actually a little surprised. Well, I guess it's because of the audience we curate. We're not so much usually on the meta as most people, but I figured a lot of...
and we have to remember, Lucky, we do have a decent number of people who started late, and while Tamo is permanent, that obviously means nothing. As I established, I'm a launch player. I still don't have a vanilla Artoria.
Hold that thought 1 second.
We're holding that thought. Doobly-doo. Don't you just love it when we tell a story, though, guys? It's great. Sorry, I just tabbed over to Twitter a second and saw something funny.
Hey, Omega, can you pause the podcast for a minute?
Yeah, we're pausing the podcast. Okay, we're back.
We're back. Sorry about that. Suddenly got attacked by a case of home improvement.
What?
2 time.
Alright. Well, let's continue.
Let us continue.
We were in the middle of a question, I believe.
Yes, this one, we were in the middle of the one from a man who finally summoned his, another man who finally summoned his favorite servant Tamamo after 3 years of actually trying. Jesus. We were laughing about a lot of Tamamos and how the fact that despite there's gonna be a meta shake up in like a year and a half now, people are still throwing down for that Tamamo, and this makes me happy. But third question, in commemoration of finally summoning Tamamo, and who was the first servant each of you played an extra? I played as extra in CCC with Tamamo, and the Arcud and Karna fights were rough.
Bold assumptions, sir.
Yes, once again, Omega and me being the hive mind. I have played Extella, and I have played Extella Link. I have not played Extra.
Okay, you can technically choose Tamamo first, I think. The game just tells you not to in Extella, right?
I don't even know if they tell you not to. I think it's
I don't remember like how it works. It's been so long. I'd have to like boot up a fresh game. No, but neither of us have played Extra. That's kind of why we're keen for that remake.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can probably say I probably would have played Archer, Nameless, as he's called in Extra, first, maybe Nero, but
I probably would have played Tom. I would have played Tamamo first. It's like, yeah, I would play Tamamo first. Q fucking Unlimited Blade Works. That's hell you're walking into. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
But yeah, so
when we actually get the Extra record out, who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We will see. Excuse me. So, thank you very much for that question. Next one comes from the girl who is enjoying Benny Emma's Hell Kitchen Shenanigans, who says, "What was your least favorite event?" I think
definitely said this before.
I think our consensus. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I got dust in my throat. I think our consensus was Saber Wars, not for the event itself, but because of the mechanics and the bonus servant list.
Yes, that's right. Saber. You reminded me. I suppressed that memory. In terms of events, Saber Wars 1, if you missed it, was a very early FGO event that was not very well designed. All the bonus servants were sabers. Guess what? All the enemies weren't. Lancers or Berserkers. So it was an event that had a damage bonus CE, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it had some of the first ludicrous health numbers. Like I think the final boss node you could do was like a Lancer Artoria Altar with like 2 million HP or something dumb. It was basically a mini raid. So they had ludicrous enemy HP numbers, bad bonus servant selections, and very, very tall point ladders.
Yeah.
So it was generally unfun for a lot of people. Hell, I think even after the rerun, when I actually owned Sabers, I was still like, oh, I thought I was going to get this event this time. I did not. I did not get this event. This event still got me.
Keeping you humble. Anyway, that's... Jeez. That is that. So thank you very much for your question. We're going to move on to Bunny Ear Maids Are Cool. I concur.
That's a light novel title. You need a second line in there.
Bunny ear maids are cool, therefore I'll collect a harem of them.
Yeah, that, or like... I'm out of luck and unemployed, but bunny ear maids are cool. What? What is this? This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't matter. Light novel.
I mean, to me it sounds like there was a man who just lost his job but is finding solace in a fucking bunny ear maid cafe and somehow inexplicably becomes the manager of it. And then all the girls fall in love with him.
Done. Fund it.
Fund it. Done. I know this genre.
Play sound of cash money rolling in now. It's not.
Actually, I think I probably will have stuff to talk about anime tomorrow because I am watching stuff again, finally. Fuck. Anyway, they say, hey guys, it's me again, with a new alias for the week. Sadly, I couldn't think of any questions to ask, so all I can do is say hello and hope that you are having a fabulous day. I hope.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm doing okay. That's cool. That's cool.
While Lucky was gone, I got an ice block for my wrist. And now the tendons in the back of my hand, so I'm doing pretty good. I'm fine.
Yeah. Things are looking up. So we move on. Thank you very much. The next one comes by. A guy blessed by a beautiful pharaoh. She's taken, though. Ow. Hey, guys. Hope 2021 is starting off right. Looks at the $700 burned hole in his wallet. Watching Ocean's 11 over the break had me wondering, if Channel Dea was to plan a heist, who would be a part of the team? Of course, Moriarty, but who else? Thanks and hope you got what you want on GSSR.
Well, it depends on what the particulars of what you're heisting. You will need different men for different tasks. You know, is there a getaway? You'll need a wheelman. I would like to think any of our favorite pirates could probably do that pretty well. Writing, you know. You might need.
I think if I were talking wheelman, I think I would like Drake personally.
Yeah, because you could picture Drake driving a car, dressing it as a Playboy bunny, and also wielding machine guns at the same time.
Yeah, no, that's Drake.
Get in, losers, we're going heisting. No, Drake's great for that. You might need a tech guy, you know, cameras, hacking, IDs, stuff like that. Mori can probably do that. Good old Moriarty can probably do that on his own, but there are some others who might be a little tech savvy.
I would default to Moriarty.
Yeah, he's the mastermind. When our charismatic con man face is like, but how will we get past the security door? Moriarty just produces a suspicious USB. He pulls out a suspicious shard from his sleeve. Use this, okay?
Well, you always need muscle.
Yeah.
Or as they say in the Cyberpunks, the hustle.
Yeah.
Who would be our muscle?
Who's a big hitter? Oh, we got a lot of guys we could get. I know if you need a master of disguise, you need Young King, obviously.
I think Young King's pretty up there. He seems pretty muscly and discreet at the same time. Mm-hmm. He's not all meat up in his head. Yeah.
You need a face.
Gil.
But Gil already owns everything. Gil is obviously the
target?
Yeah. It's Gil's
That's
casino
true.
we're robbing, obviously.
Ozzy?
They were pretty good. Listen,
Ramsey's
the Great got up to some stuff. He lived a long life full of things.
Honestly, I mostly say Ozzy just because it's up against fucking Gil, and I can never...
I could see, maybe not as like a face, but as like the backer, I could see Ozymandias being like, yes, could you please rob this guy for me? I don't like him.
He's the corpo with the job.
Yeah.
The corpo with the gig. Ozymandias Corp. Pharaoh Co.
Mr. Johnson, as they call it in Shadowrun.
Well, let's see. If we had a face, who has a good charisma? Let's see here.
I mean, Moriarty has evil charisma, but he's already our mastermind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he knows not to show his face before the caper is done, because you just know that Sherlock would show up.
Yep. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. No, Nero. I think as weird as it would, I think it'd be Nero. Nero totally would be the person who's like, I want to do a fucking heist.
Yeah, that'd be great. She'd do the cover, talk everybody. Probably screw it up a little bit, but hey, she's got Imperial privilege. She can pretend to be sneaky.
Yeah.
That is literally what happened in America.
Yeah, so Nero, Yang, King, Moriarty, and Drake. Actually, I think that's pretty solid.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty funny, yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for...
No. Edison doesn't show up. He's just the tech guy. He makes the gadgets in the background.
Ooh, excuse me. Man, when are we going to get, like, a heist event?
Don't know, but that's definitely definitely like a movie film genre that FGO has not yet touched properly, even though
I
they've
hope that'll
made
be- I hope
references to it.
I hope they'll do that for like what summer are we on? 7 now? 6? 5?
This would be summer the 6th, yeah.
Yeah, let's have a summon action flick in a fucking heist movie. Fuck, maybe it's literally a heist movie.
Hey, it could work.
Good work. Weirder shit has happened.
I suppose that's true. That's not that I know if Japan understands this as much, but that's definitely a thing FGO hasn't touched on, and Nasu's a huge nerd, so it's true. We don't know all the story beats for Vegas, but it is called the Swordmaster Tournament. So
Carmilla is there as a phantom thief, but that's still ain't a heist movie.
Yeah, it's not quite the same, right?
Heist movies are literally like 90% set up, and then get in, everything goes wrong, and then everything just becomes a mad scramble.
Yeah, no, which actually fits the FGO event format pretty good.
Yeah,
prep phases go on for. No, but Nasu is a huge nerd, and so are a lot of the Type Moon writers. So that is definitely a summer trope we have not yet hit. I don't think the summer blockbuster. Like I believe that the previous summer, the 5th one, has an undertone of like horror movies, some of which are released during summer. But that
Summer
also has
camp.
to do with like classic summer camp scares, because if you watch classic horror movies, which the Japanese love because they have their own strong horror genre, there's a lot of bad shit that happens at like summer camp and stuff.
Good old Lake Placid.
So yeah, a summer blockbuster would be something that's not quite mentioned. You could also do it as kind of a blank fez kind of a thing, right? Like usually it's an exhibition match, but we could always go a roundabout way that like Gil stole it back this time. This time Nero's going to steal it for revenge. Who knows? Who knows? They could do any number of things. We don't actually know the justification for Ska Fez either. For the Ska Festival.
Skahawk says, I want to hold the tournament, and no one told her no. Are you going to tell Skahawk no?
Yeah, Skahawk in a bunny costume said, "We fight now." And everybody was like, Considering that it does have that Grail front, like, master battle function, I wouldn't be shocked if everybody was just like, yeah, okay, sure. Okay. But alright, let's keep moving on.
We keep moving on, so thank you very much. This next one comes from Suna. And they say, hi, Lucky and Omega. I thought of something completely old school for a moment there. But they, hi, Lucky and Omega. How do you all recover from soul crushing that is MP13 SR servants and multiple SRCEs being MLB? Have a good next week, guys.
I get mad, then I yell about it on my podcast.
I get mad and keep rolling until I got what I was actually spending money on this banner for.
And then yell about it on your podcast.
Then yell about it on the podcast, yes.
Yeah. It's usually, like, the Discord or the show are usually our big emotional events, I think. Just having people around who are willing to listen to us. They're Matthew Lillarding to us when we bitch and moan about stuff. It's pretty good. Other than that, usually I just go do something else. I'm constantly busy. If it's not one thing, I got another thing to finagle, right?
Finagle. But, thank you very much. Hope you have a good next week, too. We move on to Majimari-fan, who says, question, with Tsukihime Remake announced, what aspects of the story will be added to? I feel Sachin will have a bigger role in story and we will get more types and connections to True Answer lore as Masu did major rewrites.
This is another one of those bold assumption questions.
Now, guys, I'm going to tell you this right now. So, I'm having to get it.
Yep.
I do not care about what they're going to change to Tsukihime. I literally do not. Now, you guys might have just heard, I do not care about Tsukihime, and you'd be dead fucking wrong. I do care. I'm excited for this game. Before this podcast started, I watched the fucking opening trailer twice. I watched it, I'm all like, I need to watch it again. And I watched it again. I'm excited about this. But every little fucking thought of what could be changed and what can be different is just going to make me fucking disappointed for whenever it actually happens and it doesn't happen, or you're disappointed in some other weird way. Don't at me about fucking Tsukihime. When it gets here, I'm going to get it, I'm going to play it, I'm going to enjoy it for what it is, and I'm not going to have any weird-ass illusions about what it was supposed to be.
And to be fair, I was going to bring this up. While you have actually played Tsukihime, that was a while ago?
Oh, that was a long time ago. That was still in the fucking 2000s.
Yeah, and so I considering that I know tangentially how fucking crazy a lot of the Nasuverse, like, loops within scenes kind of branches stuff, I don't assume you fucking remember what happened. I could probably look up what fucking happened and not remember by the time I'm done reading all about it.
I remember the intro. That's about it. The intro is pretty fucking wild, y'all. I was like, yeah, let's just start this with murder.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
I believe that a lot of people probably remember the opening bars of Fate Stay Night similarly, because that's the... Rin narrates, and that's the opening that's the same every time, and I almost always ends with Shiro getting murdered by Ku. I believe it actually always ends with Shiro getting murdered by Ku the first time and Rin saving his life, right? Like, talk about action openers. Me, never played Tsukihime, by the way. I'm sorry, dirty secondary. If they come up with a translated script easily enough, we could probably... Like, I'll probably leave it to Lucky because he's got the past experience, but I wouldn't mind, reading it over and trying it out myself. But,
Like I said, when it comes out, I'll fucking stream it. I don't fucking care. I'll do it. I won't, but here's the thing. I'm not gonna get overhyped for this game. I'm not. I am at a reasonable level of hype, and that's where it's gonna stay. I'm not gonna come up with any wild theories. I'm not gonna come up with any fucking fears and wishes and whatnot, because this is what I've noticed about people. When people start hey, I hope they do this, or I hope they do that, or maybe they'll add this, maybe they'll explain that, then they put that expectation on the game, and when it ultimately fails to deliver, then for some odd reason they're fucking upset about it.
Yeah, people get their own false assumptions, and then they're mad when their fake assumptions aren't met. Like, now, if Natsu says we're doing the Satsuki route and then doesn't deliver, you can be like, Natsu, you lied to me.
You lied to me. How dare?
But if you assume, which personally I do assume that there will probably be something just because they are remaking it, they have an opportunity to address cut routes and stuff. There'll probably be some more nods and some more character explanation, but if Natsu doesn't say there is, or if any of the other writers he probably has roped in on this because it's got to be like a million-year script they've been working on, I assume nothing.
Yes. Assume nothing, keep your expectations reasonable, and play the game and play it for what it is and not for what you hope it's to be. God. Fuck. Sorry, Lucky, because of all the cyberpunk stuff and everything like this, I'm a little spicy about people getting hype over things right about now.
Yeah, we're all a little spiced about stuff.
Spice.
Hey, though, shocker, guess what? After a week solid of hotfixes and other news to talk about, I haven't seen anybody complain or write a news story about Cyberpunk in a whole week, other than that there was an unusual case where there were some rumors about the game being basically entirely rebuilt that were quashed by CD Projekt Red. They had to actually be like, hey, we don't usually talk about rumors, but we want to let you know that this story is 100% false. This isn't from an insider.
Yeah.
Because it was basically somebody being like, blah, 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 management, blah, 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 execs. Anyway, everybody's hard at work. We're planning on continuing our original, long-term DLC plans. But we're also going to, rebuild the engine and shit. And I'm like, nah, it's not going to happen. That's dumb. The engine they've got good core mechanics. It's just that they had a lot of bugs because it's a huge-ass game. And they need to probably still fine-tune a couple more of them.
Coding's hard, y'all.
Well, and coding is also very complex. It's one of those... Coding is literally a language, so it's one of those things that builds on itself, and... It's like people asking about, why doesn't FGO just do blah, blah, blah? Probably because that's not what they wrote FGO to do 5 fucking years ago, and it's like taking the brick out of a wall. If it's a load-bearing brick, then you break your whole fucking wall, and that's a real pain in the ass to fix.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I hope you all are now drunk from all those fucking shots we have to do from tangenting. Now, thank you for your question, Magimari fan. We're going to move on to the Eternal Storm, who says... Hey guys, wishing you the best and hoping your roles are blessed and you both get who you want.
Well, you already know how that went for some of us.
Yeah. Going off on something you commented on last week, what events, I was trying to say eventualities, I don't know why, events/singularities do you wish were made into OVAs?
I'm gonna be honest, this one. I'd love to see this one as an OVA. This is great. There's action, drama, there's a fucking armchair detective scene. Fion's like, let's return to the scene of the crime. They do the whole thing. This would be great.
Yeah, I could see this as a 2 or 3 OVA episode OVA. They could probably get it. Other ones in particular.
I'd honestly, I think we've definitely talked about this before, but I think all the Epic of Remnants could make interesting OVAs, right?
Oh yeah.
And I say OVAs because I'd really hate for them to try and stretch them into full anime. Salem's already stretched out enough, guys. You really don't need to crowbar that into 12 anime episodes or whatever.
Nah.
Make it gosh, how many nights were there? Was it a week? You could make it 7 episodes?
Yeah. I think they could do that. Agartha, honestly, Agartha would probably be best as a fucking movie. Maybe 2.
Well, yeah, that's probably just an Agartha pacing thing.
Yeah.
But I would love I think I've talked about this before, I'd love a Shinjuku OVA, and same with Shimosa, just because, like, give that to, like Cloverworks or UFO Table, right? Because there's a lot of really sick fight scenes in Shimosa.
That reminds me.
So,
that actually reminds me. Omega, remember, like, it was like last week or the week before, we were talking about how they cut Tota from Camelot?
Yeah.
And I was like, didn't I see him in a fucking scene? I finally remember where that scene was. It was during episode 0 of Babylonia. Enter Siren, or whatever the fuck it was. Because I was watching that, I'm like, oh man, this shit's so good.
Yeah, no. I remember somebody pulled up right, I remember. It was a joke in D&D. I wrestled another character who is a catfolk. So we made jokes about Cats v Jaguarman, and we pulled up some old Babylonia gifs. They look sweet, sick, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of really good comedic low detail animations and high detail action animations. But no, like Shimosa honestly, I think people would like Shimosa a lot better as being in motion rather than reading a lot of these text blocks, right?
No, Shimosa, personally, I would like to actually get it to UFO Table so we can get really sick sword fighting scenes, though.
Yeah, no, like, if I had a preference, I would definitely say UFO Table should do it. Like, there are a lot of really interesting things they could do with that.
But, like, with, like, Shinjuku, like, give that shit to Cloverworks. I think that'd be fine. That, or give it to Troika. Troika is the people who did Case Files.
Yeah, giving a kind of a Case Files, because Case Files did have some good action when they needed it. They had really good sound direction. Like, I would definitely say that for Shinjuku, I'd want the same soundtrack feel as they did for Case Files.
Yeah.
Case Files, yet another great Fate soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I mean, if they're gonna, if you're gonna adapt CCC as well, include that. That should also go. You should throw that in there.
Oh, who would I want CCC done by, though? I don't want to necessarily say UFO Table, because while it is you can, actually, no, I think maybe if you pull out maybe the more... No, give me Shaft. Make it Shaft.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, so, Last Encore was weird. I do not think that Shaft's animation style did a discredit to Wadarko's art style.
No. Like, I think Last Encore is weird just being weird, but Shaft always works best for the weird animes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. I should go listen to the ED again. It's fucking banger. Let's see here. CCC is good. CCC, I was weird because it's technically a collab, but it's also fucking a canon story.
Yeah, it's marketed as one of the epic I've read because it has a demon pillar in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think if we don't get a lot of Guda Guda in Fate Carnival, what is it, Grand Order Carnival?
Yeah, Grand Order Carnival.
If we don't get a lot of Guda Guda action in that will be a fucking crime.
This is the thing I actually been wondering about. Guda Guda, while it's always like filled with comedy, it's also very serious most of the time. It's just...
It has a lot of back and forth. I mean, some of them they can't adapt because Strange Imperial Grail War, the Guda Guda event, is just Redline but with FGO in it, right? Like, Redline is already a serious telling of the Imperial Holy Grail War. The Guda Guda event is almost like a preemptive collab event. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta be real, guys, we're probably not gonna get a quote-unquote Redline collab because we already did that story. It's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Honestly, the FGO event probably made Type Moon realize that there was something in actually, like, seriously telling that Imperial Capital Holy Grail War story, right? But yeah, like, OG Guda Guda is mostly jokes but has a kind of a serious ending. Because there's the Dark Nobu and Light Nobu thing, but it's...
Like I said, I listen to the drama CDs maybe every few months and die laughing constantly.
No, like, again, if there aren't Guda Guda skits in Grand Order Carnival, that's a crime.
That is going to be a crime.
I'm trying to think. Like, I don't really want to call out singularities too much, because... Like, I wouldn't mind seeing all the singularities animated on some level. I don't know what I would necessarily like. Like, if we just did all the singularities up to Camelot as, like, a series of OVAs, you could probably do that edit. I don't know if that does a benefit for everybody, though.
Not really. Honestly, this is why I kind of liked in episode 0, they just did a smash cut of all the singularities and the lessons learned and showed off some people. Like, honestly, it was, like, even, like, years later, it still touched me just hearing, fucking Mozart wax on about, the world making you. Drake talking about, there's sometimes evil people do good and sometimes good people do evil.
Yeah.
Nightingale talking about the difference between desires and dreams. And this is just like, each like 30-minute cuts between them. Like, no, they just summed up this entire fucking...
Yeah, because it's like there was a whole story arc or something. But they managed to boil it down in a very effective way of just like, hey, Mash, remember all the lessons you learned along the way?
Cool. Now here you go to your final lesson.
And I expect that Solomon will probably do, depending on the format of Solomon, will probably do something similar where they, talk about all the past stuff, because that's also a major theme in that story event.
Mm-mm.
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure we still don't know what format Solomon is in, so again, we can't comment on that one.
No.
I think that Lost Belts are interesting because of a lot of them are pretty chunky, right? Like,
oh yeah.
So I don't know how that will work in the future. I know there are some plans for like some manga stuff already because it's taking them a while to move through the Lost Belts. But I don't necessarily until that story is done want to like start picking apart like this should be an OVA. This should be like we could get this. Like we probably could get Lost Belt 3 out in a movie, but I'm not sure how that the pacing works compared to others. It's entirely possible that like you could, not that I think Fate wants to, but it's entirely possible that you could do all of the Cosmos and the Lost Belt as a single, like, super long-running anime series. They probably won't, but you could maybe make that pacing work. I don't know.
I'm trying to think of any of the, like, small... Oh, I've always said this. Give me the Liz Trilogy movie set. One movie per event.
Yeah, that could be pretty good.
That could be pretty good.
Summers could be interesting. Summer would probably benefit more as an OVA than a movie, just because you could cut out a lot of the faff.
I think Summer 3 would probably make a good OVA series.
Mm-hmm.
Just Groundhog. It's literally just Groundhog Day, almost.
Yeah.
Only it's like a week.
And similarly, from like, you could boil down Summer 1 and Summer 2 either into either a couple of short OVAs or like a single movie length period.
Oh yeah, totally.
Gosh, I've forgotten. What studio worked on Redline? The anime movie film, by the way, not the Fate manga. Because give them Summer 2. And give me that unts.
Oh, man, who did?
I don't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately. But that's a...
No, it was something unique. It wasn't something that... Who did it?
Yeah, it's got a very specific director and staff.
Madhouse. That's right.
Yeah, Studio Madhouse.
Because they are Mad Lads. Actually, what has Madhouse done recently? I'm curious.
Stuff. Thing.
No Guns Life. Overlord. Yeah.
By the way, I'm not yawning at Lucky looking at Madhouse. I'm yawning in general because I'm sleepy.
He's sleepy. But it is a poignant yawn, and we should probably move on. We like to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, shockers. The anime fans and the Fate fans are passionate about the concept of Fate anime.
Anyway, so thank you very much for your question. I hope you were entertained. We move on to the one whom Shisho rejects. I cry. Airtime. Yeah, no, that's the reason to cry. But they say, hey, Lucky Omega, hope the new year treated you guys better than it did me. Lucky shrugs. My question to you is, do you have any defeatist ritual? Like rolling when you know you're not gonna get anything? From my personal experience, my luck generally skips a few banners in which I normally roll a couple tickets/shots to ensure my success in later banners. Has it worked? I mean, it got me Waver, Musashi, King Hassan, Brand, etc., but it fails on occasion. To ensure this, I get calm on my next pull-off. If it fails, I'm geared to a Gina Alter, I imagine. Best of luck on your rolls. I don't know if I really have a defeatist rituals. I mean...
Yeah, Lucky's ritual is to not accept defeat.
Yeah.
Like, if he truly is defeated, he is not actually defeated. Battle continuation credit card. I don't think I have any defeatist rituals. I'm just like, there's varying levels of sassiness on it, obviously, but usually I come to a conclusion of a banner. It's either like outright heartbreak, floor, sad music. One is the loneliest number, blah blah blah. Or I just admit to myself, I'm like, this banner is cursed. I will cease. So I don't think I have any I don't go to myself like, I've blown up this banner. I will clearly finish the next banner. Nah.
We're gonna keep moving on. Thank you very much. The next one comes from European Swallow flying for dear life from Asian demon monkeys trying to kill me. Drop the fucking coconut.
But do you
put they say?
The coconut? I am physically incapable, BT Dubs, of not making that joke. Sorry. But not sorry. Lucky, please go ahead.
They say, howdy boys, hope your rolls and grinding on the event have been good so far. There was a point in the event where Barrow mentions that he could qualify as Saber, which leads to my question. What class would you like to see your favorite servant be, fitting to their lore and such? An example being seeing Scotty as an archer, since she's the goddess of the hunt. Also, I want to apologize if my question last week about Mortal K was kind of stupid. I haven't seen the Apocrypha yet, and I didn't know they did a face reveal for her in it.
Face reveal is a little bit of a strong word, but she does appear on screen.
She has a face veil.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. If you haven't seen it, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, she appears literally veiled. But yeah, so there's that. It's pretty. That said, like I said, her hairstyle and facial structure and like body type are obviously Saberface like. So especially considering that Saberface doesn't mean anything. I'm looking at you, Jean.
We're talking. Two things come to mind. One, Saber Raiko. Technically, want to see the serious mama. I would normally say, Saber, Ushiwakamaru as in Yoshitsune, but thanks.
We'll see where they go with that in the future.
We'll see where they go with that. Other than that, Tamamos, just give me more Tamamos. Any class, all classes, every class, Tamamo.
Yeah, there's 9 minus 3. There's 6 more of them. Which, at the very least, not counting the fact that we already have a swimsuit Tamamo in a different class, that's all the core classes, and some additional extra classes. So, they exist. Go out there. I'm thinking, what are some? I'm trying to remember. I think there were a couple of obvious alts, but nothing really springs to mind right now. Like, usually for the most case, you see servants in classes that they're good in, right? And like Beowulf being a berserker kind of makes sense. Though obviously being a guy with swords, he could be a swordman too, sword boy. But I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember anybody who's in one class who I'd like to see necessarily their alternate in.
Well, I have one. This is one of those rumors and theories that's been going about in the FGO, but I would like to see a writer Nero as Mother Harlot. Writing the Beast of Revelation.
Yes, that has been data mined for a while, so we'll have to see if they ever finish turning that into a thing.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. Someone came in with a fucking long shot with Fate. With Grand Order Carnival, saying that Nero writing the 3 Lizzes was like Mother Harlot writing the fucking Beast of Calamity, since it's Nero on standing on 3 dragons, basically.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think a lot of people caught that possibly subtle reference.
Yeah.
Though I do believe the Beast of Revelation has more heads than that.
I believe it's 6.
Yeah, it's a lot. Because 6, the number of the beast. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any like serious ones. Like, I mean, so I know that canonically Mordred can also be summoned as a berserker because, guys, actual shocker. This used to be a thing in Fate. That they would let you know in materials what classes servants could be summoned as, and most servants have a couple. So I don't really think that would necessarily do anything different for Mordred, but I know that there are some different variants of her that could be shown. I don't know, because they went with Rider for the summer thing because of the funny.
Stole a shield. It's a boat. Only now.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem with linguists. So I don't know, like the question says favorite, so I don't want to run down the list of like every possible literal alt, so we can move on because we've got a decent amount of scroll to do. I think we're about halfway done. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we're about there. So, thank you very much. The next one comes from the Dragon King, who says, finally got my top 3 favorite servants in Fate when I got Tamamo. There is a lot of Tamamo.
I mean, it's been a while since she had a raid up. We should dig up your Tamamo wanted and see. By the way, Lucky shot a special wanted for Tamamo. He recorded it a while ago. It was in her last raid up. We should see how long ago that was. Or her last big one, anyway.
Anyway, continue on. My top being in order, Melt, Tamamo, and Arechigal. My question this week is, do you think BB purposely put flaws in our alter egos? Much like how Melt can't feel much in her hands, and Pashlip has a cognitive disorder. Hope next week is good for you guys.
I mean, so, from what I remember of the plot of CCC, I wouldn't say it was purposely, because the thing is that BB designed her alter egos to be the new BB. Like, she exceeded the amount of data her own code could contain, so she mixed her data with various servants and divine spirits in order to make new, better BBs and basically, like, take them over and be better herself, and eat the Mooncell or whatever. It didn't quite work, though, because they are flawed. I would guess it's probably just a general theme that Fate has of this kind of stuff, where she just overextended herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she just was like, I'll just kit mash 3 divine spirits together. Nothing could go wrong. Oops. Melt can't use her arms now. Like, it feels like the thing where, especially with, like, how a lot of the alter egos have a lot of weirdness with their physical forms, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think Kazura Drop being a kid is probably the least weird. Like, she has her own weirdness, but mostly her physical body is just, hello, I am BB, but small.
Well, you can just say it's Neoteny then, and that's still kind of a flaw in its own way.
It is, but it's the most unpronounced that just, like, she's physically small and frail. Like, Violet can technically turn her entire body into, like, ropes and chains, but that's not that freaky deaky. That's just a little weird, but...
Actually, how do I fucking pronounce this? Is it Neoteny? Is it Neoteny?
I think it's Neoteny, but it might be
Neoteny. You know what I
Neoteny.
was talking about.
Yeah, I followed you. I caught you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not like Kazura Drop's giant body, which also is bandaged because she has her weird mother goddess bits falling out, or Passion Lip's giant hands, or Melt's blade legs, right? But all of them are not perfectly, like, they are not actual perfect unique divine spirits, probably because BB is a fucking computer virus and just kit bashed them together with what she had lying around. Talk about spaghetti code, am I right?
Hey, ooh. Anyway.
So yeah, I don't think it was deliberate. Though I could certainly, there has been discussions that BB may have put blocks in her alter ego so they couldn't, yeet her. But no, I'm gonna assume it was just hubris.
Mm-hmm. But there is I know I've quoted it to you. One of the fucking razors do not necessarily attribute to malice, which could be instead explained by ignorance or something like that.
I was trying to think about that one.
I can't remember what the fuck it is. It's not Occam's. What the fuck is it?
Is it Hanlon's razor? Is that one? It's one of the razors. Like I said, I remember that. I was trying to think of the name of two of it the other day. I don't remember the context, but I was like, what's that thing about malice and ignorance?
Do not attribute to malice. Yeah, it's Hanlon's. Hanlon's razor.
Yay.
Yeah, never attribute to malice, which is adequately explained by stupidity. And that fits BB to a T.
Okay, guys, don't DM me about it.
Then why are they DMing you?
I don't know. Somebody sent me a private message. You should realize you're in the private message area, which causes alerts on my Discord. Just talk about it in the patron chat or whatever. It's fine.
You got outed. Anyway, we're gonna move on.
I didn't say anybody's name. I've talked about this before. Omega's not real keen on DMing me on Discord, and please make sure to turn off the @ function of replies, like I always do. Just because it's a little wild to be minding your own business, and suddenly it's like blarg, and you're like, what? Huh? What? What's going on? Who pinged me? Anyway, let's move on to this question that Lucky you should. There is a gap there. You should click read more.
Okay. All right. So this one comes from, am I crazy, or was there a Monster Hunter reference in Sparrow Inn? Short answer is yes. So, they say, Dear Lucky Omega, hello! I hope you're doing good. Doing aight. I wanted to point out there's a neat little reference to Monster Hunter I found in the events. Feel free to disagree, but neither of you is interested. So here's the weird thing. Technically, I'm pretty sure I'm more interested than Omega is, because I actually played a goody amount of Monster Hunter. All the way back since the PSP era. That reminds me, I'm not gonna get the demo. Fuck it.
He'll get it when he gets it. Yeah, no, I've never done the thing there. Okay.
Oh, I see someone's trying to be a fucking ass in chat as usual.
Hold on, which clown is this one? Okay, it's that one. Hold on, I had to double check. But the Tsukihime remake. You're alive though. You're real. But that's why I had to check which one that was. Which smartass was it?
You see, that's the thing. We have multiple of these fuckers. Ugh.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes. Keep firing, assholes.
But so yes, there was a Monster Hunter reference in the event, but I can't say that.
I guess the question is, especially since they say we can skip this part, do you feel the need to read out their explanation on mic?
No, there was a Monster.
They've got a very well reasoned argument, but
No,
Lucky
I
caught it, so-
I caught it when it was like, this is Monster Hunter. But yeah, no, there was totally a Monster Hunter reference with the sparrows in the end. And I think I'll just leave it at that. Because like I said, I'm interested, but not. But good on you for catching it yourself. Hey. I hope you heard the snap in the finger guns. Let me actually do it closer to the mic. Hey.
There we go. That got in there.
There we go. Alright, so this next one comes from Rotsiv, the long-winded king of Max Grailed MP2 Birdwife.
I feel
question.
personally attacked right now.
Question, has FGO hit you right in the feels at some point in the story? And if so, when?
Yes.
For me, it's done so many times, but the most notable example was Janta. That's the first time I've heard this one. Janta. Where Janta's breakdown in Christmas 2, Melt Palladian and the Goodbye, and Seraph, Gerda's Hop in LB2, and most recently, Benny's Fairy Tale and Enma-Tae. There are several more, but those are the big ones for me. How about you two? So, Lucky has to explain. He's a fucking crier. I tear up at the drop of a fucking hat. But I literally started sobbing at the credit roll at the end of Solomon.
Yeah, no, that's the climax of Solomon's a really, really big one. Yeah, the end of CCC is also a really big deal, especially because they have a very specific version of that leitmotif they play.
Yeah, end of Solomon was the hardest. I cried. I tear up several times. I teared up at the end of Agartha with fucking Fergus Lily being the hero, saves the day and get the girl. And all that's my boy. CCC, another big one. I mean, they really went all out with the production of CCC as an event. They really did. Partial voiceover.
It's also it is an event that is about a game that was supposed to be very emotionally gripping, right, and deep. So it makes sense.
Yeah. End of Lost Belt 2. I'm never gonna get over ever.
Yeah, Lost Belt 2. That whole climax, that's why I've talked to a lot of people about how I'm not sure which one I like better, Lost Belt 1 or 2. 2 had a really strong climax for me, flowing from step to step, right? And well, honestly, all the Lost Belt endings are really emotionally biting. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Hop, just Peacock Mothman just chilling in a grain field, right?
It's like, I'm the king. It's like, oh shit, you're the king. That is us.
Yeah, just those little moments are just so good. There's also a lot of good boy moments, very emotional strong highs. Fucking Spartacus jump, man. Foreshadowed, by the way, in the APOC collab earlier that year. How did Spartacus get on the flying Garden of Babylon? He rebelled against gravity.
It is time for my legs to rebel against gravity.
You'll always be the G with me, Spartacus.
Oh, man. Oh, let's see here.
That said, if we ran down literally every time there is an emotional payoff in FGO, we should probably just say yes and end it, because that's the thing. This is type moon writing, right? There are a lot of really emotional beats. Heck, we were talking about how fucking Gouda Gouda has some sharp emotional zingers in him sometimes. Fuck, dude. There are a couple of moments in Imperial Holy Grail where you're just like, oh
no.
And then they come back to when Ryoma rolls back up and he's like, I'm not dead. Neat, yay. I missed you. Cool. Yeah. Lucky, any other big standouts for you?
I'm trying to think, honestly. Really not I'm trying to go Singularity and Event bit by bit just to think. I'm pretty sure there was some in Camelot and Babylonia, but for the life of me, I can't put my finger on specifics. It's been a while since I've actually read the whole fucking script. Listen, there's a lot.
Is full of emotional highs and lows. As showcased in that great anime they had.
But yeah, no, the big one for me will always be Time Temple Solomon. Fucking from John giving the speech to Snowflake Shield. The fuck. If I could ever make a music box, I'm gonna make a music box just to play that fucking tune.
There used to be a custom 3D printed music box novelty, but I think it was a little expensive.
I'd fucking do it, and then I put a fucking mash on top of it. Boom.
If you want immediate emotional gut check, just do a music box remix. It works every time.
Yeah, no.
I bet if you put the Unlimited Blade Works theme through a music box filter, it would still be somehow emotionally haunting.
Oh, I totally bet.
Music boxes are either emotionally soul-crushing or horrifying. There is nothing else.
It's like, are you ready to cry? Let me just turn this crank. Yeah, no, but like Snowflake Shield, it just thinking about that makes me tear up. Oh god, fuck. But yeah, no, we gotta stop. Otherwise I'm gonna be here forever. Fuck.
Yeah, we're almost done. Come on.
We're almost done. Gotta keep going. So thank you very much. Sorry we spent so long at that, but you're probably not complaining. This next one comes from a man who didn't have birthday luck for Jalter. Suck.
Alright.
That sucks. Not you suck, that sucks. I need to be clear. But they say, hey, Lucky and Omega, hope are well. Yes.
I am grammar.
I am person. My question for this week is, out of the cooking servants, which one do you think will make the best pizza? Thank you and have a great day.
Question. It's going to be a little weird because a lot of the servants who are cookers are also Japanese, right? I don't know what the Japanese pizza scene is like.
Japanese pizza scene is fucking wild. Don't you know? Japanese do fucking pizza fucking crazy. I remember this. Not Domino's. Pizza Hut once had a pizza called the Tsundere, which was just nothing but cheese and a fuck ton of jalapenos on top of it.
Alright, so they're crazy creative. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna guess it's probably Benny Enma.
Honestly, I would actually say
because
Kat.
she would go, you know what? Yeah, I could see what you're going for there. Kat's enough of a lunatic to try anything. I think Benny Enma just because while she definitely seems more traditional, also just that her mindset, as seen in this event, on cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and just her dedication to the craft is she would get the primo ingredients, right?
Mm-hmm.
She would go out and get the milk of the cows to turn into the cheese, and she would find the ripest tomatoes and cut them super fast with her katana. She would kill whatever meat-bearing animal we turn into pepperoni. Yeah, it's a little intense. I would not eat that many jalapenos. That many jalapenos.
Yeah, but no, like, Japanese pizza scene is actually pretty wild. You can put, like, a bunch of crazy condiments, a whole bunch of different fucking toppings. But yeah, no, so I'll stick with Kat. Yeah. So, we're gonna keep going. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Zed, just Zed, who says, comment. JSSR gave me a Merlin, so I've been putting him to work helping restore a historical inn. And in non-FGO news, I got Kanzaki Ranko summoning Grand Blue Fantasy. Hope you two are doing well in both FGO and all the other games you have been playing. Question. Okay, now that it seems that we've been slowing down, I have to ask. Of the servants in the game right now, who would you want to get a space variant like MHX or Space Ishtar? I think I answered this actually a little while ago. Give me Chief Red. Give me Emiya, but make him Space Patrol Ludico's Chief Overjustice. Do I have any? Are there any Overjustice gifts? Hang on. He's wild.
Probably on the internet somewhere, but I don't know if they'd be in our gift searcher.
Yes. I'm just looking for Chief Overjustice now.
Yeah, he got him. That's Trigger, all right.
Yeah, that's Trigger. Chief Overjustice is great because he's literally just... Trigger's amazing in the fact that they do such wild things with their animation sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, because we've talked about this before. A lot of them were Gynax refugees, and they really took the panty and stocking art style to heart, because that was, I think, one of the first series I've seen that have that aesthetic where they ping-pong wildly from the, crappy... well, I shouldn't say crappy, but the low-effort turn-of-the-century, like, Cartoon Network original Flash animation tier shit, and then when they want to, they do ultra-high detail Gynax ass animations. Usually as the EDM music hits.
Yeah, no, that's Chief Overjustice. Literally, he has one sprite where he's sitting behind a desk, and his arms just move up and down like on a fucking swivel. It's fucking great. And then, as you can see, he has a transformation scene where he's doing fucking Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann shit. Oh man, I should go watch some Tengen Toppa. There's an anime I cry at all the time, every time.
It's almost like the anime is made for you to cry.
Let's see here.
Yeah, no, but having heard some range from Junichi Solabe, who does Emiya, right?
Mm.
He could absolutely do that 110% voice level. I am the chief. MHX, I'm gonna need your sword and your badge.
Actually, what else has Junichi-san Wade done? I'm curious. Hang on. Let me pull through here real quick.
I'm just thinking of him enthusiastically and almost angrily narrating animal facts in Killing Bites. Because that is what Killing Bites is. Just like the pangolin, like his read energy is phenomenal.
Let's see here. I'm just thinking about him in fucking the detective Sherlock Holmes, of Kabukicho. I can't remember the name of it, but he plays fucking a what was the name of the woman that owned the house that Sherlock's? Fuck, I can't remember her name. Anyway, he plays an Okama. There we go. That's the term I'm looking for, and it's great. It's fucking great. This man. Oh, is that actually Chief Red?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know there was actual art of him.
Yeah, there's like this singular drawing. That's it.
I mean, it's not Chief over Justice, but he still got a little bit of it going on.
It's not as extreme because he's not a skeleton, but
Miss Hudson, thank you.
It's Emiya wearing a space coat and space gloves, and he's got
the domino mask.
A domino mask with some slight like trigger ass effects on it. Like it's very angular. It's a very spiky domino mask for no goddamn reason. And his hair is like specially spiked up. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Let's see, what else
I think out of that, other than I made just so I have a different answer than Lucky, I will really quickly say I long ago when they said they were discontinuing the Halloween Liz trilogy said that they should add Liz to Saber Wars. It should be Space Heroine E.
Listen,
and it should be Archer Liz with a ray gun, wearing like a classic 60s like ray gun gothic bubble space helmet and stuff, with her horn sticking out of it, obviously. Duh.
Listen, I'm still waiting on my heckin' my Elizabeth Japan.
We all are, especially because they brought that sprite back. In a great scene where you could fucking call back. I think the timing on that works out too. When was Oniland supposed to be? It was sometime in the late 20s, wasn't it? Or was it in the 80s? It was still set in a modern Japan, I think.
Yes.
Themes, guys.
Alright. But also, well, actually, if I want a space version, I wouldn't mind a Space John either, I guess.
That could be interesting.
Because we have Space Ishtar, we have two Space Artorias. I would not mind a Space Artoria Lancer. Because let's put Artoria Lancer in more skin tight outfits. That's great.
And we don't just mean how some fan artists draw MHXX to be
thick.
That big, because she's not really like Mysterious Heroine X is supposed to be like high school senior or bumming around before college MHX, whereas MHXX is I'm out of college I'm a 20-something office worker.
She developed, but not that much, guys.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't appreciate it.
No, but it's not quite the same thing. If some people are just like, XX Alter would also be pretty cool. See the future version of Echen. Canonically, there's Cosmo Emperor Gil. There is a Space Gilgamesh. He is the only archer who is not locked up in the Servant universe. BT Dubs. Last we heard. So, like, I don't really know if that's any different, though, than our already pre-existing Space Gilgamesh, because Gilgamesh goes to space in the end of CCC. And obviously we should say, I mean, for the sake of fairness, there could be a Space Aresh. It would not be the same, though, because Space Ishtar has they call her Servant Space Ishtar, but she's a very specific trifold design, because she is actually Astaroth Space Ishtar Astarte. Right, like, it's a whole thing. Though, I don't know, there might be some successor goddesses to Eresh Kigal.
Who knows? If they're all, they'll fucking find them.
Yeah. Or they'll just do it as a gag, and Eresh will be like, why am I in space? She's a dandy guy. In space.
Oh, I'm laughing a little bit. Apparently, Junichi Sawabe did the dub voice for Eddie Brock in Venom. I might need to watch that.
That's, yeah. Ooh, Moon Cancer Space Aresh, so she keeps class advantage on Ishtar. That would be pretty funny, yeah. I don't know about Hell-Loth. Like, Hela is... Okay, so there is a Proto-Indo-European culture, but that is... The thing with Space Ishtar is you can literally... And people have done this. You can literally draw the through line from Inanna, Ishtar, I think it's Astarte, Ashtaroth, or Ashtaroth, Astarte, Aphrodite, right? Yes. Venus. Like... there is a literal through line you can draw from ancient Mesopotamian cultures all the way to the Roman era. So I don't think it's quite the same, though. There is a lot of Proto-Indo-European syncretism with those deities. There's an angry one-eyed god in both Irish mythology and Norse mythology, and they're on different sides, oddly enough. I wonder if that's maybe a code for something. Urban fantasy writers, go nuts. When are we gonna... It'd be pretty sick if we got Balor in Fate, don't you think? With his I-beam. That's totally...
Could be a thing. Honestly, I probably see Balor probably more as an enemy type, or an enemy.
We should fight some... We should fight some Fomorians.
Actually, didn't we fight some Fomorians? Weren't they an enemy somewhere?
Not technically. There were plans for there to be some Picts in Camelot, and also Picts are apparently spacemen. That doesn't make any goddamn sense, but whatever. Nasu didn't write it, so I don't know. But yeah, it could be. There were some weirdness, but the most we've gotten that's specifically like British Isles stuff is demon boars. Oh, also people talking about Karna I-beams and stuff. Yeah, hey, I called it Proto-Indo-European mythology. That's there's actually a language family called Indo-European. Yeah, if you go back far enough, India and Europe are actually the same, basically, in terms of human development. It's funny how that works, yes.
Like, you mentioned Fomorians and Balor, and I'm like, I think I mentioned this earlier. I just got finished reading the Dresden File microfictions for 2020. Ooh, some of them.
Okay.
Jim Butcher, Olympian Trials, please, and then Mirror Mirror, give. Yes, so moving on. I accidentally scrolled up. Yeah, here we go. So, this next one comes from... Thank you very much. This next one comes from the guy who... NP5 Summer BBE with 300 corks while rolling for MHXX. What?
That's a very out-of-date alias, I think.
You bragging? You bragging, mate? You come and have a giggle? I'll fight you. I'll cut you.
Well,
I'll swear on me mom.
No, okay, he's not. He was trying to roll for a 4-star, and he got too many 5-stars, as we all have felt this pain. But also, that's a really out-of-date alias. Just saying. It's like 6 months old. Wake the fuck up, Slowpoke.
Sorry, I'm thinking about samurais now. Okay, so I'll put away the knife. But they say, hello, Lucky Omega. Hope you're having a great day. My question is, what is the hardest CQ boss fight you ever had, excluding Nero/Gilfest? I don't have an answer to this, because I don't really think about mechanics in boss fights.
I think the one that annoyed me the most that I still did that wasn't like a Gilfest type situation, was the Setsubun one, actually, which was just the versus Tomoe that was just super RNG heavy and really annoying. I think that's all I got.
I think I cruise controlled on that one somehow. I don't remember. Well, I guess there's the thing. Lucky doesn't really keep boss fights in mind unless they're cinematic for some odd reason.
Yeah, challenge quests are very mechanical.
I feel like there was... I guess if I have to pick an answer, it has to be the fucking, it has to be, the Consort U fight in LB3, because it's the only one I can remember, where she's literally NPing every round, and you're barely hanging on as you're trying to beat this girl up. You're like, oh, God!
It's a very intense boss fight, yes.
And it was one of the few fights, like, there's a few difficult fights in there, but I think it was one of the few ones where I was like, no, I'm actually gonna do this without having to spin the quartz, god damn it. Because there was many fights in there, I was all like, I'm close enough to beating this that I don't want to do it all over again, so I'll just spin the fucking quartz. But Yume Rena was like, nope, everyone's dead, everyone you know is dead, their family's dead, their house is gone, their dog has run away, you're destroyed. I'm like, yeah, no, okay, let's do this proper.
Sorayo. Bah, bathed in blood, you die, explode.
Yeah, yep.
Hey, guys, I know her NP lines very well for some reason.
So that's gonna be my answer. But thank you very much. We shall move on to Mana Prisms of Servants. Mana Prisms of Servants! And apparently they're also edible.
No.
Hello there, StudiOmega. And lost about 3 Vitchmans since Irene Adler, which then causes Charlotte to a little bit defensive. Heh. If she were to summon as a servant, what class would she be? Live long and prosper.
Okay, Lucky edited the grammar for you guys. That was a little more janky as it's written.
Yeah.
So this is a weird one. I gotta be honest, I don't know, because Adler, like, she certainly is a notable figure.
Strong, independent woman who needs no man.
Yes. But she's, like, one of the few people who got one over on, Holmes, right?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that's the thing. Irene Adler probably on a tipping scale is probably even under Moriarty, which probably puts her in the Faint Spirit character category, technically.
Yeah, so she, like, in terms of, like, historicity, she only appeared in a single story in the actual Conan Doyle canon. Like, they had one interaction and then moved on. But she...
Which one was that?
It was A Scandal in Bohemia.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay, I was thinking of a different one. Fuck.
Scandal in Bohemia, published July 1891. Like, a lot of people like her, right? Like, they like using her because she's a character. She's a female character. She gets one over on Holmes, and he even kind of admires her her quality of character, right? Like, she's got a lot of spunk, basically. Like, he even refers to her later, like, in a later story. He says he has been beaten 4 times, 3 times by men, once by a woman, which is a explicit reference to Adler. So she's, like, a big deal, but she's also not, because she's just a kind of a big character in one story that people like to reuse. So I do not know if she could be summoned, and if she was, I'm not sure what class she would be, because there's not really... Like, she is definitely not angry enough to be an Avenger, which would allow her to have that fun class advantage over Sherlock, right?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, if I'm going to say something, I think she'd probably be an assassin.
Yes, because I do believe she obviously got up to, like, some thieving and some conning.
Yeah.
She was an opera singer. Like, it would have to be, like, caster or assassin. It would be cavalry class, and it would probably be kind of low level. But hey, Mata Hari if Mata Hari can be a weak sauce assassin, that would probably be Irene Adler's zone.
Yeah. Like I said, she probably has...
I could probably... Because I'm very decent at this, you know. Fancy Room Friday, upcoming, soon. I could probably kit bash a functional servant profile that you could translate to FGO, but it would probably involve a healthy level of stretching, right? Like, I don't even know what her Noble Phantasm would be. I beat Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. Like, you could...
Honestly, it probably be... This might sound a little sexist, but there's a term I heard that I actually think would actually fit Irene. The term is sometimes the greatest plans conceived in the minds of men fall to pieces at the feet of a woman. So it'd probably be an anti-male Noble Phantasm of some sort.
Like, it would probably, like, honestly, the way to do it would probably actually be to name it after the story she was in. Just call it The Scandal in Bohemia, right? Yeah. Because that's kind of her whole shenanigan where she's, like, doing blackmail and stuff, and then at the end, Holmes, like, knocks on her door to recover a photograph, and she's just gone, and leaves him a note and a photo of her.
So
like,
probably
like, whoop.
Yeah. So yeah, no, she's good at getting one over on the smart peoples or men. She has an escape route and smart enough to con people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she has a few things. Probably can do anything, but nah.
Yeah. There's no reason to skedaddle in that too deep.
Single target MP that strips buff off males. Interesting.
That could be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, listen. Like you said, let's move on.
Let's move on. All right. So thank you very much.
So the final scroll. Bonk, we've been going for almost 2 hours and we haven't talked about Sparrow Inn yet.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna... Well, who knows?
It's entirely our fault, though.
This next one comes from our fishing for more fish. Dear Lucky and Omega, ignoring the constant feasibility to do such a thing, do you think it'd be a good idea to add a feature in the GSSR where you're always guaranteed a new SSR servant? For those who have every servant, the GSSR would guarantee an SSR servant with a low MP level in the player's roster.
I gotta be honest, I don't... the way you phrased this, good Sir Fishman, or Fish Lady, that's probably, like, too complex and would honestly lead to more annoyance, right?
Fish construct.
Because there are new servants people don't want to roll. Shocker, I know. Like, but there are some people who have very violent reactions, and I think it would be a terrible waste to spend money on a GSSR just to have to burn a servant for some damned full idealistic crusade. Anyway,
Bunker person.
Conversations about people's cognitive biases aside. No, just in general, I don't think this is a great plan. I think the thing to do it would be to, as maybe like a singular GSSR gimmick where they're like, and this time, the servant you get is guaranteed to be one you've not yet summoned. I would not like that as a permanent feature, no. Just because, again, that, like, I'm usually gunning for new servants, but there are multiple NPs I'm not averse to. There are people who want multiple NPs off specific servants. Like, I would much prefer different gimmicks in my GSSR than just, you definitely will get a new servant. Just think about the chaos mode of our previous GSSR, right? The one we just passed. Mm-hmm. Where, hypothetically, it was all limited. There were a lot of brand new servants I could have gotten in it, but there were also a lot of other ones. If you had no other control than just, they'll be brand new, that's, yeah. You know? It's a little wacky. Lucky, your thoughts?
Lucky shrugs. Like I said, I like new servants, but I'm usually not averse to more MP levels. Usually. I don't think there's a servant that I wouldn't mind. It's like, oh, they got another MP level. Well, I take that back. Sometimes, like, if I got, like, a Vlad, like, how many times did I get Vlad? Like, 3 times on a GSSR? Or was it twice?
I think it was only twice, maybe.
It was twice, but still, that kills me inside. But, like I said, like, oops, all Vlads. No. But...
Oops, all Vlads.
But I'm fine with GSSRs as they are. Gotcha's gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha's gonna gotcha.
Yeah, and there are a lot of interesting and helpful schemes to future GSSRs, right? Like, we're seeing some interesting stuff that you'll actually be able to, like, really narrow yourself down without just knowing exactly what you're going to get, which would compromise the purpose. That's why they got the SSR ticket now, you know? Yep.
Anyway, we're going to keep moving on. So thank you very much. This is going to come from Moon is Shooketh, because she got Benny Ramsey in the first roll compared to the other 5 stars she rolled for. I just want to mash you CE copies. That's a mood.
It happens.
They say, though, hey, Lucky Omega, hope your day is going well. I plan to roll for Old Lee, but not too hard because I need to save. That's all for this week, and hope your week has been amazing. I stabbed myself by accident.
I yawned just now.
But I hope your week has been fucking fantastic.
Thumbs up.
We move on. This next one comes from Kuronoka Pancakes, who says, Dear Lucky Omega, Happy New Year. I hope this year is better for everyone than the last. Who did you get on the Guarantee Gotcha? I get a Resh. And if I have Kiara, it's necessary for me to roll for King Protea. Again, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too.
Step 1. Tune in last week. Step 2. I mean, by that logic, is it necessary for you to roll anything?
Follow the dick in your heart.
Yeah. So, actually, I will say yes. If you have Kiara, you must roll for King Protea. What are you gonna do, nerd?
Lucky already has a melt, already has a lip, already has a Kiara, so, yes, I'm rolling for King Protea. Like, this girl needs headpats, and I'm here to
I'm not gonna roll very hard for King Protea, but I will definitely do something, just because I don't have an AoE alter ego yet. I have melts, but she's single target.
Ego. But thank you very much. This next one comes from the guy who was gonna commit a crime if he got MP3 Scotty, but he has Ivan now, so he's happy.
Scotty conspiracy.
I feel like we need some sort of musical sting for every time we bring up the Scotty conspiracy. Almost X-Files in nature.
Really, I was gonna go with some sinister violin strains, just...
That'd probably be easier to pull off. Anyway.
Just imagine my face framed in shadow. Every time I say it. Alright.
Anyway, they say, Hi there, this year has been quite nice to me so far, and I hope it's treating you well too. As for my question, I wish to know if Tsukihime gets a collab, what characters will be made into Serpent and who's going to be welfare if there is one at all? I personally think it'd be funny to have another Shiki welfare, but that'd be way too confusing. No, it wouldn't. Thanks for reading this question, and I wish a great week to you all. Do you know how many characters in here have the same fucking name but different classes?
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that.
They could figure it out. The problem is I don't know if Shiki Tono could be anything but an assassin, because that's the weird thing about Tsukihime is that it was obviously very inspired by Kari no Kyokai. So literally, he is man with death eyes that stabs things. It's a little weird, but they could do it.
Honestly, what I'd say is they just changed his card type instead of making him art focused, making quick or buster focused. Ow! Maybe change up his kit a little bit.
Yeah, they could do a different setup. Not that I think we super need a new assassin, but there are after all 2 Shikis already, so who have different things. That said, one, we definitely also talked about this last week.
We did.
I think this was a mailbag question even last week.
Maybe.
But also, 2, I love how this is phrased. I wish to know who will be made into serve. Like, we fucking know. I'm not a future seer. Not in that way, anyway.
Well, I can make educated guesses at least, though.
Yeah, we can make guesses, but I was just the grammar struck me as weird. Yeah, no, it's not. So, I mean, I don't know. We talk fairly authoritatively on this, so some people might get the wrong impression, but it's Delightworks doesn't tell anybody this. Like the Japanese press, they don't know fucking nothing. We especially know double fucking nothing. When it happens, and we know.
Yeah. So, but last week we did make some guesses. Like, definitely, I would say SSR Berserker. I can never remember how to pronounce her name.
Arc. Say Arc.
Arc.
We'll skip all the weird fake European bits of her name.
Yeah, Arc. Because remember, she was a Berserker when she was before, also known as the Funny Vamp.
Yeah. There was a joke that her true class should be Funny Vamp, but this is FGO. There's absolutely no way. Hell, Voyager is actually supposed to be his own class. They still reclassed him as a foreigner for FGO because it was easier.
Yeah.
So she will probably be reclassed as Berserker.
Like I said, easiest would probably be Shikitono as an assassin welfare. Mm-hmm. They might do something more interesting with his kit. They might not. I don't know. Just because
they do at least already have the basis for the mechanics of it, right? Like he could have Mystic Eyes of Death Perception at a lower rank than
Shiki.
Shiki. Ryogi Shiki specifically.
Yes.
Sorry, it's a little late. I was trying to remember what's her family name again?
Mm-hmm.
Ryogi Shiki. Yeah. So like they could do it in an interesting way. I also brought up one of the other major heroines, Seal.
Yep. What would you say, Saber?
No, I think she would probably be. So she could also be an assassin, but I was gonna think Archer because I believe she has like a pile drivery type shooty thing. She also has black keys because she's a church member. So.
Oh yeah, that's why I said Saber in the first place. It's like she has sword hands.
I don't know if black keys are quite sabery enough. No, clearly she's gonna be a ruler like Amakusa.
Yeah, on point. Also for surprise part 2 banner, SSR Archetype Earth, basically be the Void Shiki of the setting.
Yeah, that would be a whole thingus baringus, but you could do something with that, assuming that doesn't break anything. I don't know. Nasi would know better than us. We haven't actually. We haven't actually. I haven't written that yet, even though I'm absolutely going to.
I forgot if she actually has another name. That's the only name I know about. Oh, I don't know. Listen, it's been a long time.
No, I think Archetype Earth is supposed to be Ark's like super mode. Like that's her in like Melty Blood and shit. Is her super form.
The long hair form. There's probably one more. Oh yeah. I can't remember the maids' names now. All of a sudden, Tisui and who's the other one?
Is the other one Kohaku?
Yeah, Kohaku. Yeah, make them a paired servant group. I don't know what fucking class they be, but I just want to see more combo servant attacks. Right?
Could be funny.
Could be funny. But that's all on that, and we must keep going on before Mega passes out. So thank you very much. This next one comes from Isekai FBI. So this next, so they say, "Hey, look, Mega, I would like to apologize for what I said in the Christmas mailbag. I didn't mean to be insensitive. English is not my first language. I only learned it from school, and the only word I can come up with the term was Old Japanese Tribe. That's fair. I did rack up my brain for quite a while back, but the only English word I can think of instead of using indigenous Japanese tribe. I really didn't have a deep vocabulary in English. Sorry. So my question is, while I was reading the Typhoon Wiki, that's a dangerous thing, reading about Zawado, we know that the Age of Gods ended due to 3-stage deterioration, separation, and trigger. And the trigger, it only states that something happened in 700 BC in Zawado. And that was it. So I searched what notable historical events happened around 700 BC and learned that's when the time when the Etruscan started inhabiting Italy and later become the Roman Empire. Do you think it's related to what happens in LB5? Specifically, we know that Romulus will appear. Lucky has no idea.
Probably not, because as a specific year, I don't think anything actually happened there. Like, yeah, there may have been Etruscan tribe stuff, but that's not historically significant. I think the only thing that maybe it could be is, funnily enough, I just did a double checking. 700 BC is apparently when, that's the year we've dated our earliest complete copy of the Epic of Gilgamesh 2. And Gilgamesh, remember, starts the separation. So, it would almost assuredly be because of stuff happening in Babylon, because Gil fucked everything up, than to actually, like, in the Babylonia era, than to actually, like, be any specific events with the Etruscans as just a That's a very specific date. And do I think it has anything to do with Romulus? Probably not, because that is not when the 700 BC is still not the mythical founding of Rome time, I don't think. I'll double check, but it's not, like, in here.
Is White Titan deterioration or separation?
Years in office, 573 to, or 753 to 516 BC, theoretically, as the first king of Rome. Yeah, no, that would be around the same time, and remember, BC counts down instead of up. But, yeah, no, that period would still be before-ish the time that Rome was theoretically founded. So, it would be after his death that whatever that split finished, which doesn't really make sense if it's a post-Romulus thing, because it's not, like, right after. I don't know. If they came out and said it was exactly in 716, but I don't think that tracks with what we know about what's going on with those guys. We'll see if it comes up in Lost Boat 5, but I don't think that's an exact dating time.
When did fucking Velber show up? Hang on.
It was 10,000 BCE, which is approximately 12,000 years ago.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no. That's also, to be real, I know they're talking about, like, reading a Type Moon wiki. The decline of the Age of Gods is one of those things that Nasu can't make up his fucking mind about. Like, there's, like, 5 different events that this is when the start of the decline. You don't fucking know when it happened. It's a general idea for when the Age of Gods ends whenever we leave the time of myths, basically. Whenever your culture gets enough real history that it stops being about mythical kings and shit, that's when the Age of God ends. When science says that history starts. Like, the Age of Gods or whatever isn't finished in Britain until after Arthur takes the throne. So, like, after Artoria, because, gee, it's like she's some kind of fairy tale king or something. You
know? Alright, but that is that. We're gonna keep moving on. So thank you very much for that. Hopefully we'll find out our answers in approximately a year. But we move on! This next one comes from new student at Master Masu from Chinese Kung Fu School, who says, "Dear Lucky the Bunny of hiding and stuff, and Omega the sword of explaining stuff." Nice. Now that the age-old meme of Murasapa Win has died, which of the ex-servant Win will take its place in your mind? Also, what are your hopes and dreams for new servants this year? So...
I mean, my personally is seeing the silhouette, it's Yoshitsune Win, right? But that's just because I know they're debating me, so, like, I think in the actual terms of memes, it's now a race. Like, Doman came out, right? It's now a race. Who's gonna hit first? Rasputin or Tomovich?
Yeah. There's probably also a dedicated subset of people asking for Prototype Merlin Win. And...
Yes. I know a lot of people are also asking for C to be ported over because she was the same banner as Proto Merlin in arcade.
But, in core FGO, no, it is definitely Vitch Win. She is the last of the trailers, and... like I said, last of the... Well, as I said...
She's last of the trailers, and now a race between... Like I said, it's a race between those two, I think, for who we're gonna get in there with, right?
Yeah, Charlemagne Win is also a powerful set, too. But probably not as powerful as Vitch. I said, the thing with Charlemagne is he's been in one entry, one game that... Vitch has literally been slapped.
Literally, there's a, I don't want to say a discussion, but or don't want to say an argument. There's a discussion going on right now in our normal FGO channel about the differences between Extella and Link, commenting on the fact that while Link is a very good game and has some cool new characters in it, its story is definitely not as punchy as OG Extella's. And it's very much like, it was literally said to be written as a bridge, but it's very much in terms of gameplay and like game design and an experiment, like an upgrade to the engine and the gameplay, not directly like a full-blown sequel with all the same deets and shit. So, no, Charlemagne is cool, and he should definitely be in. Hell, fuck, I throw in Roland Wen. He's got a fucking story sprite. We see him in one of Astolfo's interludes. Where's that guy after all this time?
Also, yeah, and they did like name drop fucking Charlemagne like twice in fucking in Christmas.
Yeah, 4. No. I expect that much like Knights of the Round, the Paladins of Charlemagne will be coming back sometime. I just don't know when. Fucking Mandracardo got in the game before Roland does, though. That's part of the joke. Part of Mandracardo's character at this point almost seems that he's like, who's this guy? And he's like, I'm Roland's rival. And everybody's like, but seriously, who the fuck are you? My family used to own the Durandal.
I still, as much as everyone's hyped for a Tsukihime collab this year, I think Extella / Link might also have a strong place as well.
God, I want it. Just to scratch him off the list, fucking Charlemagne, Archimedes, maybe Charles the Great.
Give me an Altera Larva welfare.
Yeah, Altera Larva welfare. Get us another Saber welfare. She can be AoE with it's what is it? Snowdrop Photon Ray?
I believe so. Where the sword's too big that she actually stumbles a little wielding it.
Yeah, no, and you that cute. And again for the purposes of like welfare game design, that means you don't have to design any multiple ascensions for Altera Larva, right? Like, you know, you just get Noto Mamiko to do her tiny babu child voice, and it's fine.
You die slightly inside from the cuteness.
Like, and again, we've talked about this. You could definitely do a joke with actually going to the fucking moon, because that's the thing. The CCC collab didn't involve the moon cell at all. It was just Kiara did some weird slider shit to it, right? So, like, there's definitely some possibility there.
To the moon. Moon. All right, but we talked about that stuff.
Let's go.
So the next one comes from the Fanatic, who will deal tons of damage with Ultimate Shisho, who is now NP5. That is a powerful Shisho. I'm jealous. But they say, hey, Lucky and Omega, hope you guys are going to kick out the shenanigans that FGO Hell Kitchen is dishing out. Question. Question, if you could go to any location era within Nasuverse, where/when would you go? If nothing else, then just to observe what took place as opposed to what our history books say. Personally, the moon, and in turn the moon cell would be a stellar start. Keep it up, you two, and hope you stay safe. Live, laugh, repeat.
I gotta be honest. I don't think I would want to go literally anywhere in the Nasuverse, just because I would be afeared of exploding.
I would go to the root.
No, but Lucky, then you'll definitely explode.
But I'll explode after seeing probably Waifu Alea. Maybe. I don't know.
Touch the root. Do it now. No, Lucky, no one can live at this speed. Just do a stock explosion effect there. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I feel like I wouldn't do anything to like go there and yeah.
Truly, the times we live in now are the best times. I wouldn't say they say no to have some sort of observation device that lets me look back and see how things were.
Yeah, but if I could just have my own like auto FGO event writer, right? Like my own personal observation lens Shiba, where I could just be like, whoop, spin back the giant globe and be like, hey, what's going on with this historical / fictional character? What's up with them?
Actually no. So you're doing fucking Zeltrich.
Yeah, basically, I guess. Can I do that one? That power? Just watch shit for fun?
Just give me K-Scope.
Well, also just give me K-Scopes. I need like 2 more before I can do a Super Scope, like an MLB. But anyway,
let's keep moving on. So thank you very much. This next one comes from a guy who only got Supportcaster dubs from GSSR, but also got his look back for the normal roles after Christmas utterly destroyed him. Question. With Christmas banners being the worst roll sessions I ever had, 1,300 funding coins for a single SSR spook. Oof. I would like to know, what was your worst experience rolling for a servant size banner, and how did you cope with it? For me, it helped that I just got my Jalter to MP2 and Benny to MP2 a little bit earlier to see that statistics do indeed work on a bigger sample size, but I would be interested to see if others had other coping mechanisms than the knowledge of how statistics samples work. You said statistics a lot there. Wishing you all the best in this relatively fresh year, and good luck if you roll for Old Man Lee, because I will not.
That is probably why nobody is watching that video. Once again, Old Man Lee unfortunately has a lot of comments of like, he cool, but me no roll. I'm like,
listen. If I had not just spent $700 on a fucking burb, I would roll for Old Man Lee.
Oh yeah, no, Lucky. I don't throw any stones against you, but you're not commenting in my wanted video about how cool he is, but you're not gonna roll for him.
Yeah,
like,
no, because
you can literally tell a story about why you're not rolling for him.
Yeah, no, like after like seeing a little bit more of his character and getting to play him, I was like, oh no, this man's cool. I kind of want him. And then I checked my wallet, and my wallet's like, no, you don't. I was like, no, I don't.
No, you fucking don't, asshole. No, it's the question. So I believe I've stated before, my biggest blowouts were Summer Mordred Run 1, which got me 3 total Tumble Lancers, and no 4-star servants at all that were, like, I think at all, let alone that were on raid up. That was bad. I coped with it by singing One Is the Loneliest Number to myself loudly and posting a video of it on the internet. Then 2 years ago now, Oh gosh, I hope this is not forming this Saber thing. I hope is not forming a pattern. I just realized because the other big blowout was trying very hard for Musashi, which involved me spending an 80 pack for fucking nothing. Thank you, Christmas birthday money. Only don't because it didn't work. That I just hargle-bargled and yelled to myself and was like, I'll try again later, and later didn't work either. So yeah, mostly it's just much wailing, much gnashing of teeth, and then we're just like, okay, all right, we're done here.
Oh.
I hope this is not becoming a pattern though. Then again, I haven't actually tried hard for Benny Enma, so I shouldn't say it's a pattern yet. I don't know how many more rolls it would take, or if I'd go broke doing it. I just don't want to go below 300 right now because Murasaki Shikubu is just around the corner, and I like writing designs.
Lucky, I think I can't remember exact numbers and stuff, but Lucky still doesn't have a Da Vinci, even though he's tried. Lucky still does not have a MHX Alter, even though he tries.
Alter's dodgy. You gotta watch out though, by the way, dude. That's a 1 million downloads event this front half of the year is an MHXA.
Oh no! My wallet! See, this is when I was trying to get overtime hours at work, but they're like, no. It's like, we're not actually doing enough production. We can't have so many people. It's like,
not enough people are selling their old crap for you to work overtime.
And it's like, damn you! But it's definitely one of those. I do remember I did have a bit of a blowout with Bryn on that first Valentine's, but I said I got her eventually. That's when I got many Fions, and I was just all like, this fucking man. But yeah, so
I mean, I think technically talking about on-stream things, it didn't end up mattering, and I can't say it was a really bad experience because I just came off a Jolter in 110 spin. But that banner coincided with the tail end of the OG Maeve banner, which I spent all of the courts I saved up for Jolter on and did not get her, or Ku Alter even. That was another kind of awkward blowout, but I was riding high because I started that as a stream BT dub, so it was on camera for everybody to see by getting Jolter immediately, so that was like one of those, I ain't even mad. And then Maeve pops up randomly while I was rolling for MHXA, by the way, on the Valentine's banner. When not on raid up. Shit's weird sometimes, guys.
Shit is weird. Anyway, but we're gonna keep going, so thank you very much. This last one, comes from Dave, weeping over getting a 4th Iskandar. Damn. Oof. But they say, what do you guys think about Muramasa? I always thought he'd be a support unit, kind of like Shin, but for the night classes.
I love it.
I think he's a cool sword boy.
He has an NP theme, and his kit is designed around him firing his NP as often as possible. That's great. I love it.
Therefore, his kit is so you can listen to his NP theme, and that's
basically, awesome. Yeah, that, and also, like I said, I just while it's not hard just dealing with asshole units, I love his design of like, hey, your offensive buffs, you don't get those. Hey, did you dodge? Fuck you in particular, right? Like, just like, yeah, no, I like those kinds of setups because it gives you a specific tool when you fight specific bosses. It's pretty fun. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've been going for 2 hours and 22 minutes.
Well, thankfully, we are now done with Mailbag.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Scratch my face. Congratulatory face scratch. Okay. I'm going to close this tab forever. Goodbye, Mailbag.
Goodbye.
So, with that out of the way, the only thing we really have in Free Talk is just our general second impressions. Lucky wrote some of these notes, so I can let him take the lead. But overall, I believe we're both done with story, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think the only thing to mention specifically, maybe before we get into the event story impressions, because there's a lot. It's a good story, good writing. It's a little, like, scattered out there, you gotta get into it, but there's a lot of good moments, like, Massage Therapist, Old Man Lee, Eliza Japan's concert with the Sparrows, that's pretty funny.
Literally just bouncing off the screen, it was great.
Yeah, they're clearly just riding her sonic waves. The thing I just want to say is about event design is... I have heard this from a lot of people. This is a recurring theme. A lot of people are not... I don't even know if... Like I said, we had a long conversation off mic about how we should phrase how people feel about this. I think the best way I put it was, people are not upset, but they're not comforted either, right? Like, they're not comfortable. It's somewhere in between.
I think someone used a good term. This event seems kind of off kilter.
Yeah, so basically what we're talking about, right, is the fact that you have a points ladder you need to advance to complete the story and also get rewards.
Yes.
To get this point ladder, you do renovations, which involve super big farming. Not an exotic thing, right? Honestly, farming for wood was very simple for me. Yes. Some people were bamboozled by the hot spring split, but I was like, whatever, that's your fault too.
Yeah.
As I usually went fee on support, fee on Karna, and had a million other things I could do with that line, right? I had a Leonidas I could have tucked in there if I needed one. Like, yeah, no. And the other one, female archers, are you kidding me? Easy street. But yeah, no, just the fact that you do all that farming, that's normal. You do the renovations, that which unlocked a lot of little small event quests, some of which were direct story related. But to do your really big story, time gates, you don't have to wait for a time period, or rather you do, but you don't just have to wait for a time period, and you don't just have to wait for you to earn enough points, you have to wait for a time period so you can earn more points, and then get to that level and do math to figure out what you're doing, right? Like, it's just, it's a very weirdly paced situation.
As we are right now, we can finish the point ladder without doing a single quest right now.
Yeah, you get to max 500k, and it's like,
well, now you just gotta make sure to log in, like, once a day, get your points, and you get stuff.
Which you do anyway, right? But one of the reasons why people find it so weird is that the reset period for points is not at server reset, but it starts at 10 a.m. And goes until 10 a.m. the next day. Like I said, we don't know much about FGO's demographics. Maybe this works better for, like, Japanese school children and salarymen, right? I don't know. Which, I gotta be real, I can't throw any stones at Delightworks if that's what their logic was, right? About, like, giving people the whole day period to do it, but not have to worry about the reset until decently in the day. Yeah. Whereas, God knows, if you have to, like, get up early to do work in the morning, maybe you can't be awake at, like, complete reset. I don't know. But it's a weird time. There has not before, and I don't think ever will be, an event that has timing resets at 10 a.m. server time, right? It's just a weird time frame. Like, a lot of stuff in this is weird, a little clunky, to pull a comment from the patron chat. But it's not bad. Like, God.
Well, like, here's the thing.
I had way more of a slog doing, like, Oniland, right? And I don't know if you were about to bring this up, but the other thing that stuck with me is some people were talking about how tedious it is, and I was, like, talking about self-inflicted stuff, right, Lucky?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I will not allow false equivalency in this chat if you say that this is worse than rolling 500 lotto boxes, because you created 500 lotto boxes for yourself. That's not FGO's problem. That's a you problem, Chief.
Yeah, no. Well, I was going to bring up, the thing I think that bugs me most about this event is the soft time lock for the points ladder.
Right.
Because the way that the event, because you only get the points at a login, you only get so many points. That means if you want to reach the max amount of points and get all the rewards, that means you have to be getting the max amount of points by a certain point in the event, and there's no indication of that. Like, I think I barely scraped by getting it because I was a little late in getting the event done.
Yeah, I believe I was literally one day behind. Like, the day everybody was saying they were done with the event in that first run, I was like, oh, well, I gotta wait one more day. But no, I'm done with it, so yeah, I think we're both good in terms of numbers.
Yeah, but so it's just like, yeah, there's this kind of arbitrary time log for rewards, and there's nothing you can do about it if you start a little bit late. It's not very conductive for, people who maybe don't play that, who have more of a casual lifestyle with their gacha games.
Yes, it rewards you going ham immediately on the first couple days, right?
Right.
Presumably when you're probably still off from your New Year's holidays, or it encourages you going a little bit ham very slowly over the 2 weeks, but then you have to actually, like, crunch your fucking numbers, and it's not an event you can blitz at the last minute.
No, you can't.
Which is unusual for FGO design. And it's telling that FGO, like I said, has never done anything exactly like this again. There will be certain amounts of, like, timed resource gathering and construction stuff later. It's not built like this. Like, it doesn't flow like how Sparrow's Inn flows. And I also, I do think a lot of people had bad impressions of it from when it was in JP, when they had to struggle with JP time zones and stuff. But honestly, I didn't hear a lot of struggles out of that this time. It was mostly just people going, like, there was a lot of confusion before we started on when was the login period, right? But the moment NA did the actual announcement, they quashed that. It was like, it's from this time to this time. And I'm like, thank God you explicitly say that, because the Japanese translation was ambiguous.
As Japanese usually is.
So, like, they very clearly stated how it would work, and I think it worked out for everybody, but it's a little weird.
A little weird.
The only other mechanical thing I gotta throw out, unless you have something more you want to say about the time gating and stuff? Or were you ready to move on?
I was ready to move on, but no, say a thing.
Okay, so I just want to say the only other mechanical thing that I think was got me a little sassy was the Hot Springs clearing fight with Shadow Musashi. Just because that is one of the few times where FGO basically has a hard, you cannot complete this event unless you reset past a certain point. If you fuck it up and don't realize that you need to have Dearmid alive you need to have Dearmid alive to do the finishing blow, I think. Because if anybody else hits her guts resets.
Yes.
So you need to have Dearmid alive in her second HP bar to kill the Shadow Musashi. If Dearmid dies to rogue crits, which, hey, first time I did this, spoilers, he absolutely did. I did not spend seals or anything. I was just like, no FGO, I refuse to let you, to make you force me to spend resources. Fuck you. I will do this all again. Thank you very much. And just reordered my team so Dearmid came in later.
Yeah, I did that too.
But he can absolutely eat shit and die thanks to rogue crits. But, like, that is one of the few hard stop difficulties, like, literally unwinnable I have ever seen.
Like, he should probably had, like, an unremovable guts himself.
Yeah, no, like, because you still can't, if you don't have his command cards to use and Musashi's HP isn't low enough, you can't do it, to keep going. But, like, it's definitely a weird challenge that's not, it's one of those things that is almost never done by FGO, and I'm just like, yeah, could you, I was basically at the end of it, I was like, hey, FGO, could you not? Like, for a storyline quest, it was very specific, and I'm like, I get that
their fail state was real easy to achieve. Basically, if you did not have Saber Dearmid in the right place, you just could not do it. I'm just like,
yeah, and there's nothing you can do about that other than if you get to the end after Musashi whittles down everybody, you spend command seals. But when she's on, like, what was her guts, like a 1k HP, when you're like that low, you're like, this is literally, and not that I needed those seals in the next coming days anyway, but it's like, this is literally do you want to use seals to win? And not like in the, oh, this fight is hard, but in the, like, this fight specifically doesn't allow you to win unless Dearmid is alive. I'm like, I don't think that's ever been replicated, right? Like, I don't know of any other challenge type quests that do that sort of thing. So that bamboozled me and a lot of people. I know some people struggle with the final boss. Right, like, I didn't. I just unga-bunga'd that. Like, even now, Robin's saying the new area is a headache. Nah, it was
I did it on my first try.
Yeah, same with me. I mean, you only need to break 2 bars, 1 bar?
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually, like, that was in the middle of the night as I was, like, because my sleep schedule's been a little fucked up again lately. I think it needs to get that back on track.
Like, listen, support Benny Enma is great. She has her own fucking permanent buff.
Well, Robin, it's called check what fucking buff it is. After I remembered one time where I accidentally did low damage, I was like, oh yeah, I need to check every round because he might evade. So I did that. And like the odds that it's a little counterplay because a lot of people like to build teams to focus around a card type, but then do something else that turn. You can still get if you have all arts, you still get your NP gain.
Yeah.
Buster, you still generate crit stars. It's not an actual lost turn. Like, I know it's annoying, but honestly, compared to, like, Musashi's, like, you must have Saber Dearmid, this was a lot less annoying to me, and, like, I literally unga-bunga'd it in the middle of the night at, like, 4 a.m. when I'm like, I must complete the event before the reset, before I go to bed. So, yeah, no, I can't even tell you what I did, other than the support Benny Enma was there, and, probably Mordred was there, and Mordred has a debuff clear. Other than that, I don't know, I got Sabers. Was Nero there? Probably a Nero there.
I do want to know, that fucking, get debuffs when you hit it, that was wild. I had lines of blue for a while. I was like,
yeah, wow. No, some people were really big on that. Like I said, I didn't even really, again, Unga Bunga, card go fast. Like, I don't know, maybe that was just, other than remembering to check what his evade was, and then laughing at him when he was like, I will evade quick all arts cards, and I'm just like, laughing frog. As I queue up another Benny Enma NP, you know? Just Benny Enma things. So yeah, that was, some people were frustrated by that, but I didn't have a hard time, so I can't really complain. Yeah, Laughing Lizard, there he is. We have a wide collection of reaction gifts that we use in actual plays. On some people went like whole hog with like bringing like Sherlock or Nightingale, and I was just like, nah, just Saber cards do things. Sabers. Yeah. He's a Lancer.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the plot stuff, and I've been talking for a little bit, so Lucky, you wrote these notes, so why don't you take it for a second?
So, I've talked shit about Fionn for a long time. I really have. I'm just kind of like, his appearances and stories have not been stellar. Usually he's either a villain or a fool. Sometimes a foolish villain.
Yeah, like, Fionn has a bad rap from Fate Zero for being the guy who lets his buddy, Dirma die for no good reason.
Yeah.
It's not like he's cursed or anything to bang your wife. And then being the guy who tries to hit on MASH in America, which everybody was like, off limits, no. Like, I've heard some people say, oh, Fionn didn't do anything wrong there. I'm like, no, fuck you. You're wrong. That is absolutely not cool. Like, that is actually a recurring Fate theme, that the Celts are bad at boundaries. And sometimes you need to tell them to not.
But here in this, despite Fionn getting in for, I would say, shady reasons, he continuously just seems to prove he's on the up and up. He acts intelligent, clever, and doesn't necessarily strip himself of the personality that he had before. Like him speaking to Yume Ren. He's like, no, he's still playing that suave player type, but he's doing a fucking con at the same time because Fionn is smart and is all like, Yume Ren probably doesn't want to see the master. Probably not. So I'll handle this. And just consistently is just a pretty cool dude. Like, I'm not saying he's, like, outstanding and amazing and the best of the best, but he has gone from a kind of thorn in my side to, nah, he aight. It's just a fact which is remarked upon in the story at the end. He's all like, alright, my reputation has improved. I'm good. I'm like, yeah, no, perfect.
Yeah, he plays his captain role very well, right? Like, yeah. He's the properly experienced one, if you would think of Gordy as the king, right? Like, he's the Fionn McCool, in his full pronunciation, is the captain of the knights, and he's like, all right, guys, let's do stuff. You do this. You point to Kiyohime. You just keep existing. Bye.
Oh, I do want to point out, Kiyohime wasn't as bad as she usually was.
No, that's another thing. Like, similar to kind of how quote unquote Princess Kiyohime was in Shimosa, who was still a little bit, but not very intense. That one just didn't have a lot of agency because she was, just a wee squishy babu. But yeah, no. Everybody in this event is handled pretty well. Like, I think we got enough of like Tomoe's actual characterization in Setsubun, right? Because she was a major aided character, but this just lets her continue to be herself, right?
This lets her show more of her being a dork, but at the same time kind of being fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking multiple Kiyohimes.
Yes. There's also, Kiyo gets a lot of good action in this, shows off her talent. And we've talked about this before, but Tomo is a major character in this event who matters. She is not just a joke because she's with Nero, and she's not randomly hanging out with Kentoki because she wants to do some shopping in London, even though that doesn't make any gosh darn sense. Yep. Like, she is a character, she exists, she has stuff to say, people talk about her backstory, she's sassy to them.
Well, she refuses to acknowledge that it exists at any point. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Or when, at the climax when, I don't know what guise it was in, but basically Team Nue was like, hey, whoa, how is this any worse than you, Nine-Tail Lady? And she's just like, Tamamo Beam, charging.
Even Cat was all like, oh, hell no, you didn't.
Well, yeah, and we get Cat-Tamamo interaction, which I think has literally never happened.
Yeah.
It's great.
Because Cat talks about how she hates the original because she literally discarded them.
Yes.
In the event, they said it is for spirit origin weight gain, and I was like, yeah. Because the joke might have gone over...
Cat phrases it through her catness, right?
Yeah. Cat phrases it at weight gain, but remember fucking Vitch's spirit origin weight and how it's in the fucking tons?
Yeah, there's that. That I think was a back and forth. There's also the fact that if you've played CCC, the reason why Tamamo cast those tails off is she in the ending of CCC, when you're going to be deleted, right? Like, Hakuno's gonna be deleted by the moon cell forever from the dark side, or whatever dumb shit is the plot of extra in the meta context. It's really confusing sometimes. Like, the version of Tamamo's ending is she goes to imaginary number space, grows back all 9 of her tails, and uses that to get enough CPU power to rescue Hakuno, and then to prevent herself from going all, golden-furred, white-faced fox, who you meet in Tamamo's storyline, because you have to contact her origin, to avoid going that far, because Amaterasu is a scary lady. She basically hacks off her 9 tails and ditches them in imaginary number space, and then they come back as the colored Tamamos. The Tamamos of many colors in the ending, but still.
Yeah,
so,
I guess I remember.
like, it's a joke, but it's also not a joke, because there's very serious context to Tamamo with 9 tails.
Yeah. I do like it that they actually have to fight it out. I was like, yeah, I want to see this in an OVA.
And then talking about characterization, Benny Enma, guys, goddamn.
Oh god,
she's got the jokes, but she's also got the feels, the fucking Gordon Ramsay tier memes.
I like that she just smatters in English. Like, I actually realized this when she's talking about, Hell's Kitchen. They say Chikoku Kitchen in English, but no, she actually says Hell's Kitchen. I'm like, huh. Yeah. Also, I love her nice design. I'm like, this is good.
Yeah. Dechi.
And Chichin.
Or as it's rendered in English script, cheap.
Good.
Which I believe is about how that's how the Sparrow's verbal tick in Okami is also rendered in English. Cheap or chirp. Possibly both.
But she's so young, but she tries so hard. Too hard. This bird needs a rest.
She is the madam, the working, she's a small business owner. Strong, independent bub.
But we see a lot of intersection of Japanese fairy tales here.
So the Sparrow Inn is, I believe it is actually a recurring literary motif as well in Japanese folklore, but like in what they call it, the
Maya-Goya?
Something like that. But in purposes of fate specifically, the Enma-Tae we run into is basically like it's the fairy tale land. It's the contact point where weird shit is still in the human world, right? Like, nature and divine spirits go there to get away, and only humans can get there. And I'm sure this event seems to reference Spirited Away, but also I'm gonna guess Spirited Away references a lot of Japanese folklore that I don't know off the top of my head. Like, just
listen. There's a lot of stories about someone wandering in the woods, getting lost, and finding a fucking house.
Yeah. Fion name checks fairies and fairyland, right? When talking about his own experience with basically this thing. Which, yes, if you go wandering in the woods of the British Isles, don't stumble through any weird rings of trees or mushrooms. Otherwise, you might have a bad time.
Russian, don't summon the Ramonas or you run into fucking Baba Yaga's fucking chicken house.
Yeah, no, so, like, I'm sure this is a grand folkloric motif that Sparrow Inn just dives into and acts as, like you said, a connection. Those guys we met, Magistrate Tiger, Chief Snake, and Moneyed Monkey, are actually the Nue, a chimerical spirit. They split into 3. I think it's kind of a shame because, like, everybody knew Moneyed Monkey was sus, right?
Oh, yeah.
And...
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I would say Monkey was sus, but, like, I think from the beginning you kind of get this feel that Chief Snake and Tiger Magistrate, there was something going on, but you weren't quite sure how in on it they were.
Like, Snake had some weird moments with, like, his interactions with, like, Gordov and stuff. Magistrate Tiger, though, was, like, obviously he has that weird thing where occasionally he goes just Tiger Modo and wants to eat people. But he seemed sympathetic outside of that, so it was kind of sad to see him at the end, like, rejoin the team. But that is also kind of the back and forth of, like, the different aspects of the Chimera, basically, right? Like the 3 different heads. You could also have name-checked See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil. Like, there's a lot of interesting things there.
I name-checked the monkey and the crab.
I did that one too, yeah, because I felt that was actually going to be more relevant.
Yeah. Actually, what was the crime that the monkey actually suffered for killing the crab? Fuck, I forgot.
I don't remember.
The monkey...
I don't remember that folklore off the top of my head, but I remember the name and stuff.
Yeah, hang on. Monkey and the crab... Sly monkey, premise missing...
But yeah, no. I don't want to skip ahead too much in your notes, but there is a whole plot reference to the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter, aka Kaguya Hime.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also very interesting, considering that voice and letter collection with Murasaki Shikubu is right around the corner, right?
Yeah. So yeah, like first when they name dropped the treasures, I was like, wait, like that's when I got immediately fucking sus of everything.
Right, yeah, because
Like-
the five treasures are a huge folklore motif in Japan. Like, next to the three regalia, the five treasures are probably, like, one of the most recurring motifs. Like, them and the red oni, blue oni type thing, Raijin, Fujin, etc. Like, there are a lot of multi-part tchotchkes. And this is not an exclusively Japanese thing, like, think to yourself how much you've seen recurring motifs of other regalias, like the four treasures of Celtic mythology.
By the way, Akikaze, you may know, the treasures were never found. A couple of them died, and one of them tried to fucking fake it. But
one guy died. The cowrie shell guy fell. He got spooked and he fell off. Everybody else just had to give up or try to fake it.
yeah.
So the four treasures of the Tuatha De Danann from Celtic mythology is stone, spear, sword, cauldron. You have probably seen those before in a motifs collection, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. So you're supposed to recover the five treasures that were stolen from the bamboo cutter. And to be fair, before you do the let's solve the crime thing, fate is open enough that you could see it going like, but what if the bamboo cutter had the treasures all the time? Like, that would be a perfect Kaguya Hime type thing. Like, I think that's even what Toho Kaguya does, because Kaguya is a Toho character as well. Like, it's like, haha, she already had the treasures, lords. So, like, there's ambiguity that it could still be the same guy, but at the same time, I think you're supposed to be like, wait a second.
Like, would a kindly old man really, because that's the thing about these Japanese folklores. The old man is always super kind.
Right. And in the Tale of Tongue-Cut Sparrow, it's also a kindly woodcutter, bamboo cutter, right? Like, he's a nice dude. The bamboo cutter we see is not a nice dude. It's weird.
Fucking Tale of Momotaro, it's a kindly old couple. Like, it's a, like, usually it's a kindly old man and his wife, or it's a kindly old man and an evil wife, or a kindly old man and his wife and their fucked up neighbors. Usually there's a, and especially in these
Which, if you want me to unpack, I assume that basically is like, because it's also usually a kindly old working class man, like a guy who does a hard ass job in the woods,
cutting firewood, gathering bamboo.
So it's usually almost like a karmic thing. Like, listen, just because you may think to yourself, I'm busted my ass for 20 or 30 years or whatever, and I don't have any kids, and possibly my wife is evil and sucks. Good things can still come to you, right?
Yeah, because this is always the second part of these stories. Usually, the kindly old person comes back with a gift, and then the opposite's like, "Where'd you get that shit? I'm gonna get me some." Goes there, acts like a fucking ass, takes a big treasure, and guess what? The big treasure's a fucking trap.
Yeah, that's literally Benny Enema's small and large baskets.
Yes.
The old man at Sparrow's Inn took the small basket because he thought, "Oh, I'm old. I'll take the lighter basket." Well, it turns out it was magic, and it turned into a lot of gold. And then his shitty wife was like, "Well, shit, there's two baskets. I'll go back for the large basket." And then the sparrows are like, "Okay, lady, you're married to that guy. We like him. We'll give you the large basket. Do not open the large basket." And she was like, "What if they're fucking with me? I'll open the basket." And then snakes and demons and shit come out, and she falls down a mountain and probably dies.
Probably does.
So yeah, no. There are a lot of recurring folkloric motifs that this event just pulls in, which again, like I said, writing-wise, love it. Chef's kiss. Mwah. From the literal chef's kiss style humor, fucking Jigoku kitchen battle royale shit, right? Fuck, dude. That was great. I'm shocked there wasn't, I didn't catch any, but I'm kind of shocked there wasn't like a Fortnite reference in there or something. But it's very much in that battle royale theme, right? It's so funny who shows up, where like, Tristan shows up to be cool. Helena thinks that she'll just pick up something, casual, right? Like, everybody should know a little. Anne and Mary are there just cause they were like, we've never cooked anything in our life. And Gorgon is like, I misunderstood what this was about. I came here to eat. And Mash is the only one who's like, I want to maybe learn to cook because it's cool. And I want to cook for Senpai someday. Which Benny Enma ends with, you'll be a great wife someday, Mash. But like, yeah, it's pretty funny how that works out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just all the folklore. Benny Anima tells her own story. They talk about the reference to Princess Kaguya. There's the name checks to Spirited Away. A lot of the monkey shit.
They name check Crane Returns a Favor.
Because this is the thing. The Enma-Tae is basically in that fairy tale land. It's not quite in the other side, but it's in that part where humans don't go, right? Unless you get lost. You can only get there if you get lost. Mm-hmm. Where all that fairy tale shit happens. When you run into a crane, or a crab, or a monkey, or a sparrow in the woods, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where this happens. This inn is at that place, and it's so cool for us, huge nerds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The timing on the Kaguya thing, though, is absolutely hilarious, though, for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons. Again, Kaguya may win.
We could do it. I mean, they got all the elements out there. We'll see. We could see what they could do.
Again, I do enjoy this man because again we get a lot of crazy servant interactions. Apparently they were attacked by a dragon, and it turned out to be MXXX.
Well, yeah, they said there's a mysterious dragonkin kicking down our door, and you go out and it's fucking Double X, who's like, what is she? Is she angry about sabers, or she just want a vacation? I can't remember right now. It's late.
She was mad because she wanted to come in, but they didn't want to. She was trying to freeload, and they wouldn't let her. She was like, "Fine, I won't stay at your shitty inn anyway."
Right. Okay. Yeah. It's her being broke. That's right. Those are the with XX. That's right. Her jokes are more usually like either crime is happening here or I'm broke.
Like you see a whole bunch of little things like
what's her one of her NP lines in robot form is like, or in any form is like,
bonus.
Please Galaxy, give me a bonus.
All sabers must die. Like, honestly, I just like, this is one of the things, I always just like little servant actions. The Gouda crew gets together and start having a pillow fight, except they start actually bringing out fucking weapons. And it's just like, I love that the scene later was just a desolate fucking landscape, and you're just all like, well, that sucks.
The Gouda pillow fight ends in death.
And they left Izo behind.
Yeah, that Izo got his invitation wrong. I love that they had a fucking special audio snake fucking sprite to bust out when she goes apeshit.
I'm pretty sure they had that back in Imperial Holy War. I'm pretty sure.
Probably because of stuff that happened in there. But yeah, no, like just the fact that they bust it out again to be like, yeah, we got this.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready.
Also, fucking, now I understand why people ship fucking Maeve and Skahawk Scotty.
Yes.
That scene was fucking adorable.
I think that started with either there was an update to, there was something going on with, I think it started with Scotty's voice lines, where she remarks about Maeve, where Maeve is just super confused, as we can see from this event, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Summer Maeve has a comment about Scotty, I believe, where she's like, hey, you should get out there in the sun and stuff. Basically, the same kind of tone that they have in this event. So there was a lot of people took that and started doing like fan art and dumb shipping stuff. And it especially once this comes out, you can see why, because it's like regular Skahawk and Maeve are kind of like operating on two different wavelengths in a sense. Like they don't really seem like they fight, but also they're like, Skahawk is absolutely like, you're gonna ask for mixed bathing later, don't lie to me. And Skahawk just doesn't give a fuck, right?
It's a flirt and her straight-laced friend. Because I feel like, as they say here, they hang out, apparently. They came together.
Yeah, Skahawk is the not straight edge, but she's like the serious one. Mm-hmm. Whereas Maeve is absolutely the weird party one.
Yeah.
But Skahawk Scotty, the Skahawk but not Skahawk, is just weird enough and different that, like, Maeve is just utterly bamboozled. She has no idea what the fuck she's doing. And then there's the adorable moment where they realize that because she's fused with an ice giant, Skahawk Scotty can't handle the heat.
And they're just like, oh my goodness. This
and
is too
there's
cute.
A lot of adorable blushing sprites, and you're just like, oh my god. And then Fergus's heart boner gets too big, and we have to beat him up.
I super appreciate vibrating Fergus. I wish I had that as a gift.
Oh, it's too much! Bonk.
Yep. Go to horny jail, Fergus.
Yeah, we bonk him and we put him in horny jail. Keeping in mind that Maeve is only just barely not in horny jail herself, because her description of going to an inn is, we're gonna drink, we're gonna find new good-looking braves, we're gonna go to the hot springs and be naked.
We're gonna drink more. Back to the hot springs. Spa time drinking.
We might get in a fight. Like, big Celtic rigmarole.
Listen, Celts are horny. Celts are really fucking horny, yo.
The Celtic myths are all about that, big up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, I have a new quest available. What's that for? Did, the CQ just unlock? Is that what's going on?
Did it unlock? But, like I said...
Yep, there it is.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I might have to go do that later, maybe. But, again, shout out to maybe making Maeve not be as much of a fucking ass as people think she is.
No, I think our problem with Maeve is that usually she is our opponent, and her characterization is coded in a very, high school queen bitch way, which apparently deeply triggers some people's psychological trauma. I don't know.
I wonder why.
As a homeschooled kid, I'm like, I don't know, this just misses me. Man, whatever. Where people are like, oh my god, Maeve's the worst. I would burn a Maeve if I've got her. And I'm like, what? She cheated at a beauty contest. What's wrong with you people? But, it's obvious that there's some deep psychological trauma there. I have just started recently watching Cobra Kai, and it makes complete sense to me now. Cobra Kai, the YouTube/Netflix series, is all about your high school trauma coming back to karate chop you in the balls. Yeah, no. But this starts to show soft Maeve and just her utter bamboozlement with and also getting Scotty in there, and especially another great moment. We haven't talked about her yet. Fucking Anastasia showing up again, right?
Oh yeah, with Marie of all people.
Yeah. Which makes sense though, because they're both high level Imperial princesses. Yeah, and this event reminds us how much of a little shit Anastasia was. Her that third skill, her battery with the stun is what is it, Schwepsig? That's her that's the Russian prankster word or little imp. That was her childhood nickname, right? Mm-hmm. She was a scamp as a tiny Russian Imperial princess. So yeah, no, the fact that this brings out sassy Stacy, where a monkey hits her with a mud ball, and she's just like, okay, crack knucks, hold on, let me show you. Yeah, everybody show him. Big Stacy energy. She puts on her hater blockers.
She does.
Nah, it's pretty great. I love it. Also, the fact that the princess's luggage is enormous.
I mean, I'm gonna call that easily.
No, but they make sure to mention at least.
Honestly, that battle was fucking hilarious. Just every turn, a monkey goes down to one. And you're just like, and afterward, it's all like, oh, tell me.
We also get some interesting V characterization. Gordolf is like, I'm pretty sure that V motherfucker is from a Lost Belt, but everybody's just like, nah, nobody cares. She just talks to V like it's her little doll.
Like, I think
no, this as you might expect from a event which is explicitly we get two scenes in and we're like, the inn's on hard times, we need to make some money. And then we're like, we'll fix it up, and you know what we'll do? Master, your connection will invite servants from Chaldea to show back up. And it's just like, there we go, got it. And it, there's some ups and downs, but it's a perfect opportunity to show off a lot of servants. We get basically 2 trial quests for Old Man Lee, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, that's what I'm gonna say. It was literally, the fight with Yume Ren was literally a trial quest for fucking Old Man Lee.
Yeah.
It did nothing but just here, you want to try this old man out? Here you go. And,
he aces it, which is great.
Yeah, no, and I love him. I'm like, shit, I really wish I didn't have to.
But he also shows up as a possible support as security when event security for the Liz quest.
I like how it was just unknown. He just randomly shows up. I was like, oh.
And we're like, even the security guard stepped in at the end, and he's just like,
I'm not gonna lie. I really wish I could.
I do also love though that it's not like we have to kick Liz out. We just basically have to stop her long enough to be like, no, ma'am, Elizabeth Japan, who you're a huge fan of, obviously. You're like, go. We have an outside venue you need, okay? There's fire codes.
Literally bringing down the house. The sparrows are bouncing off the walls. They seem to be fine with it, though.
Also, while we don't get our dramatic confrontation, because we know Drifter Musashi left already, after haunting the fucking hot springs.
Because she demanded hot bodies. She wanted hot men.
Yes, Musashi was trying to peep.
She was horny on Maid.
Well, yeah, that's just Musashi. But we do get some subtle hints, because the first guy that shows up is fucking Kojiro. And I love him. I love his just subtly giving us themes. And then we just meet him in the fucking hot springs, and he's like, oh, you want my lucky shell? here you go, master. And you're like, you don't want to like fight about it? He's like, nah, we cool. I know what you're up to. I gotta go find somebody to fight. Bye.
And then suddenly monkeys.
There's also a lot of jokes about dual wielders. Yeah, the sparrows are a little concerned about himself.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name attack? Like, Sugamibashi was Swallow Color or something like that?
Yeah, Swallowtail Reversal, because he learned how to do it by trying to... I think he says in story he didn't actually cut a swallow, just the technique is based upon, theoretically, how he would hit a flying swallow, right? Because his lucky charm is the swallow calorie shell.
Yes.
But it's in like Benny Enma's voice lines if you have a Kojiro, where she's like freaked out about the level of his Phantasm sword, which is amazing considering how good she is at Iejutsu.
Mm-hmm.
Or at spooning. Because if you use her in a lower ascension, yes, she does use the spoon. Even in her NP. I have used to support Benny Enma's in my time. Both story support and off-story support. And if she's in her first ascension, no, she will literally do her NP with a spoon cut. But also she gets serious in the new fight, and it's great. No, this event's real good.
No, I'm happy it's going to have a rerun. I'll probably read through it again.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. Read through it, maybe listen to more some of the music, because like I said, I was doing this event a lot at weird times before going to bed, so I didn't get as much of the music in as I could have. Luckily, at some point, it'll all be in the in-game player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now we set course for Prisma Rerun. We're at over 3 hours, and it's after daily reset time, so I think if we don't have any more specific scenes to talk about, we should probably wrap us up.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. Guys, Sparrow Inn is good. I hope you all had a good time with it, too.
Mm-hmm. And there will be a rerun. So we're going to set course for Prisma and get on out of here. I don't know about the exact timing, but we got about a week left in our Patreon polls. Shocking nobody, it's absolutely going to be Dead Apostles. Like, we've got a decent pool of votes in that, right? And it's winning by a lot. Now, there's a little bit of competition, though, for Fanservant Friday. Pope Joan is still in the lead, but not as many people have voted in that one, and Taki Yashihime is not that far behind. So we could have an upset. We'll see what we do. All of those, I think, will be interesting, so we'll see how things shake us out, and go on from there. Sure. Yeah, if you don't have it, I said this is my Pro Boy opened. If you don't have that Chloe, it's time to get her. And also, I guess, that Ilya costume, and that Miyu, I guess. To be real, people are mostly going, Miyu is absolutely only for completion, because her NP is not a good design. It was very clear they were like, hey, what if we didn't make a support caster who broke the meta? And then they were like, oops, too far. Like, who knows? Maybe they'll do, like, a Prisma main interlude or something, or add it to the Rare Prism shop, and they could give Miyu a buff. Or you could just... Again, guys, it's been since Anniversary this year, which, while cool, had a lot of unnecessary buffs. I would love a rank-up campaign, JP. Or an interlude campaign that was mostly skill and NP interludes. Not half quartz. Not that I mind quartz interludes, but, like, we're at a point where... We want it. No, the RP economy started with the rerun of Santa Altera. But again, hey, if you've already done the event and you have a full Chloe, 5 more Rare Prisms. Again, this is why we talked about this when some people complain about the Rare Prism economy, where it's like, it's in NA, you don't see it yet, but you should actually get a decent amount of Rare Prisms in future plays. All right, so we will wrap up. Hey, Loth, so you should be able to get her to NP5 now and get your last Ascension material. And get, like, 1 Rare Prism at least. People are posting about Emperor's pretty good. I admit my ruler of choice for a lot of these dumb quests has been Mothman, just because he's got great self-contained potential. And also been trying to level his bond. But anyway, yeah, let's wrap up. Next week, what will our show be? I don't fucking know. Maybe we'll do another mailbag. Maybe we'll do something else. I'll make some shit up. I don't know.
We'll do it.
JP... So, I don't think there'll be any JP news for a while, because they said they're going until the 20th. Yeah, that's like 10 days away. I mean, there's still only like 5-ish days left before that ends by the time we get to next week, but I don't know if they'll actually get off their butts and do anything. So, let's wrap up. Who knows? Maybe if the polls will be done by then. If I can get my notes together, I could probably do Fanservant Friday that week at least. That's a lot easier than Teach Me. Teach Me involves a lot of research. The way I write Fanservant Fridays, I only pick fanservant ideas I've already written, basically. So my research is pre-done.
Pre-done.
Expect a fun one in July, guys, or maybe June, because I have both Servant Ben Franklin and George Washington profiles. So
we were talking about Benny.
We were
the other
talking
day.
about Benny Frank, yes. We might even talk more about that in What's Up. Just because I don't think we need to go on about current events, but some people are like, this is the worst. And I'm like, nah, dog, you don't know. History's wild.
Yeah, it really
I
is.
don't want to downplay that stuff that has happened is very important for us right now, but also, like, it's not going to break anything that wasn't already broken.
Yeah.
Did you know people in Congress used to get into fights with their canes? When was the last time a congressman hit another one with a stick?
When was the last time a congressman shot another dude because he was slightly upset?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Politicians used to duel. Like, I don't want to get too much into it, but, like, talking about presidential theatrics, friggin' Andrew Jackson.
Stonewall!
He was in multiple duels where he killed guys. Somebody tried to assassinate him and his weapons misfired, so he beat that guy half to death with a cane. Like, it's nuts. Honestly, talking about the America Singularity, that reminds me about how, unfortunately, like, smooth brand the America bits of America were as a singularity. We didn't get to do anything fun. We just went to places that people knew names, and Edison was slightly weird with his weird mass production suburbs. He gave us billions, that's okay.
Hey, the Lightworks, can we get some more Geronimo action and maybe a fucking overhaul, please?
Oh,
My
yeah,
boy needs
shit,
some love.
give me another America-themed event. Like, Geronimo had some cameos in like, All the Statesmen, but, like, give me some action. I think they did, like, a third rerun for that, right? So a lot of people have Bunyan, you know?
Mhm.
Bunyan me up, guys. Give me a Bunyan and Geronimo Fun Times event. And do more dumb America stuff.
Listen, it can actually be dumb America stuff. We're America, we dumb.
Like, heck, you don't, because he would almost assuredly be a Phantasm Spirit or something, but, like, do more dumb American urban legend references, like Johnny Appleseed. He was a real guy, he might. But also, like, fucking Pecos Bill, and Slewfoot Sue, his girlfriend who rides a catfish.
Mm-hmm. Pecos Bill, I grew up on Pecos Bill.
Yeah, Pecos Bill is great. It's ludicrous. I love that one. Fucking riding tornadoes, throwing dynamite. Slewfoot Sue rides a giant catfish.
Has a snake as a lasso. Wrangled it when it was a baby.
No, like, that's just great nonsense you can pick up. all kinds of other dumb Americanisms. I mean, they exist everywhere, but American folklore has a very particular tone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's wrap up. So, if you're watching this on YouTube and you like this video, be sure to give it a like, everybody. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also hit us up on our Discord. The link is, as always, in the video description and on our channel page. Of course, if you're new here, please subscribe to our channel. We're edging up on that 3K. We're working there. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, get them to sub. You can get more of our lovely, ludicrous content. And also hit that bell for notifications, even if you're already subscribed, so you always know when we post a new video, when we stream, when stuff happens. It's great. It's fun. Notifications, everybody. You can also join our channel through a little join button or the membership link below. Get access to special emotes. Help us out. It's really cool. But also, like it said at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early, in audio format for as little as $1 a month or $10 a year. Oop. Accidentally belonged to my mic arm there.
Mm-hmm.
And it really helps us out. And yeah, that's everything. We'll see you soon for What's Up, depending on the timing of when this gets posted. And see you guys next week for more Let's Talk FGO and other content. All right. We go bye-bye now.
We out. Sparrow Bomb.